The money crawler is confused, so there's a decent chance that it doesn't hurt me. I think that kills any possibility of Elibilon saving my life here. We died. Well, that's what happens when you save a game with a character that is not that powerful at the start of one of the hardest parts of the game. That's yet another streak of 6 that I lose in this account, but it's fine. I don't mind because I can get another one pretty much immediately. But yeah, there's probably other things that I could have done. Um, Man, it's such a shame that Spider gets, or like that swamp, or rather that lair branches gets so difficult compared to the rest of the game. Like I feel that by the time you enter a lair branch, you're not nearly as powerful as you should be to deal with it, and every fight there will be really bad, which is what happened. Like every fight since the start of the crawl segment of the stream was super bad, and of course I ran out of blinking, and I wasn't able to blink. The major healing from Elibilon was trash. Um, it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Yeah, it is always so hard to pick up a character again after a couple of days. That too. That is also like the combination of all of that. I think was what caused me getting into like so many bad fights in a row that forced me to use all of my consumables. And it was also like let's not um, let's not ignore it. I also made some serious mistakes there. Um, so yeah, we can play another one. And I don't want to play another Jin because recently I realized that I have yet to one-on-one an Abyssal Knight. That's the only one that I am lacking for greater one-on-one in this account. I wonder if I have already played. Well, I haven't played Ogre Abyssal Knight. Maybe I should do that for an easy and quick one. It wouldn't be easy now that I think about it, because at the end of the day, I am an ogre, and I'm kind of forced into melee. Hmm. What Abyssal Knight should I play? I could also play Troll. Troll and Ogre are some of my favorites. Hmm. Hmm. What Abyssal Knight? I like Formicid Abyssal Knight, and that's already one in this account, but I think it took me 2 attempts. I didn't get a one-on-one, so I cannot play that again. I think I'm just gonna go with Ogre. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Ogre Abyssal Knight. We're gonna start with. I am leaning towards a spear, and now you may be thinking, but Giant Spike Glove. And to that I say, Giant Spike Glove is really bad. I don't like Giant Spike Gloves. I recommend you not to use them, actually. Um, so yeah, it's looking like spear. It really is. The only thing that's making me hesitate, by the way, is the fact that finding a demon trident is not the easiest thing in the world, and this character is looking like it's gonna be stuck with melee for a while. Um, Man, I am really like considering my choice of ogre now. Maces are nice for hydras. Yeah, yeah, I guess, but then again, I am an ogre. I shouldn't ever melee an hydra anyway because I have like no armor class. So if I was to try to melee an hydra, like I would just get hit for like half my HP in a single turn. Um, Man, I am a bit sad for that Jin. I feel like that Jin was kind of doing well, but it did get unlucky with the spells that I got. I got Dispersal and um, what is the other one that I got? Death Channel, yeah, and Death Channel doesn't. Elibilon doesn't like it, and Dispersal. Maybe Dispersal could have saved me, but since it's a spell that I never get and I never use, I completely forgot about it. But I guess that's the nature of Jin. You're kind of forced to use things that you would normally use as a Jin. So it was definitely my bad. I definitely had the tools to save myself. I just didn't think of it because I don't usually look at my spell list to in a situation where I have to do something to survive. Um, so I think I'm gonna go for maces. And you may be thinking, oh, maybe he's gonna do the giant spike club run. Well, no, I am going to go maces because morning stars and dark flails are super common early in the game, and then maybe if I get lucky, I can find an evening star and use that, or a demon whip. Demon whips are more common, but they come later. And even if they end up never coming, a morning star is good enough to win the game. It has pretty good base damage. If you want to distort your weapon, spear mitigates the pain of blinking enemies around a bit. It definitely does, but I am not a fan of I'm not a fan of distortion anyway. It doesn't feel good to me. Um, Alrighty. So, in case you don't know, the Abyssal Knight Abyss is kind of strange in the sense that, yeah, every time where you spawn is like an exit way close. So you can just explore a bit and find the exit. It's important to manually explore. You shouldn't out explore here um, to find the exit. You can also like keep exploring, try to get greedy with some loot. If worst thing happens and you get shifted away or you find a monster, you can always escape with Lugonu's ability because you started with enough piety to depart the abyss. So yeah, that's how I like to play Abyssal Knight at least. Mm, no items, it seems. I think I'm just gonna take the exit. I'm gonna start to play safely. On Rove, well, that's not very useful. Yeah, I think it's time for me to get out. Okay, there we go. D1. Cali Commuter, thank you for subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. Um, yeah, thank you so much. Um, you're here probably for the start of a new streak. I wouldn't be surprised if I won this character because I think my win rate is pretty high. I tend to play very carefully and avoid situations that would get me killed. Like fighting a D1 null. That's the kind of thing that just straight up kills you. You should probably never do that. Um, okay, let's pick that up. Here, my win rate with Ogre is even higher. Yeah, I also play mostly spellcaster Ogres because that's good. That's the good stuff. We found a book with Blink. That is massive. Why can't I? Well, I guess I will wait until experience level 3 to learn Blink. But yeah, the reason why Blink is like such a huge thing is because it is a cheap, almost free way to make to gain some ground on monsters, and that is a very powerful thing. Um, Especially considering how there's melee monsters in the game that only melee you, and that's like the only thing that they can do. Being able to gain some ground on that on those kinds of monsters like can mean that you make a clean getaway without having to use consumables or even be at any amount of risk whatsoever. And by the way, worms are kind of lame. It's really hard to kill a worm. It's also kind of hard to get killed by a worm because it's so slow, so you just run away. But it is super annoying because you will inevitably like auto explore back into the worm, and then yeah, you know how it is. It's just very annoying. Let's manually explore away from the worm. Bolt Python. Okay, as long as we don't find another, we are good. Ooh, Kobold with Dagger of Draining. Maybe I can use that to kill the worm. Let's read Identify. We find the Curing. Not bad at all. We find Flight and Brilliance. Kind of trash. Ooh, Red Drain. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna use this for a little bit. Oh, I don't wanna go downstairs just yet, or do I? No, I don't. Um, okay, time to kill this worm. There we go. The Dagger of Draining seems to be slightly better than the Mace for now. Now, I think I maybe want to level up some intelligence to cast the spells because Melee Ogre kinda sucks. It's like actually bad. But the thing is that I haven't found any spell books yet. Well, I have found two spell books, but they don't have like conjurations or anything that I can use to kill things. It's only utility spells. So there's not a lot of incentive for me to level up intelligence right now. I'm gonna level up strength, which has immediate impact in the game. You're just starting to see my Demigod Elementalist 15 Runer. Looking forward to seeing the power of Stormform. It is really good. Stormform is fantastic. I am very happy with Stormform Manifold Assault. I think that character was like probably one of the strongest characters that I've had in a while. I think that character got close to 100% power with Stormform, like very close. Um, it was a good character. That's all I can say. Maybe better because attack speed? Yes. Also, Drain Brand is really good. I think it has a bit of base damage and a bit of multiplicative or multiplying damage. Um, it also has more accuracy than a mace. Base accuracy +6 versus the +3 of the mace. All of those things combined make it so that it is definitely a better weapon for this stage of the game. I'm gonna go back to the one which I skipped very early because I found a null, and I'm gonna clear it. And of course, D1 monsters don't really pose that much of a challenge. We can kill them very easily. 2 pips of piety with Lugonu. And by the way, Luganu offers very powerful abilities that you may be interested in checking out if you ever play Luganu. Most importantly, mm, Corrupt. I think Corrupt is the most powerful ability that Luganu has to offer. People kind of underestimate Corrupt, but it is really strong. And it also allows you to do some things that you straight up wouldn't be able to do with any other character ever. Like for example, when you go into a gauntlet, you can use Corrupt to break out of the gauntlet that you were into and get the loot from the other gauntlets. It is like just an insane thing that only Lugonu allows you to do. Well, in addition to being able to do that, placing a bunch of high-level abyssal monsters in the gauntlet also just like kills everything. So it's really good. Mm, we found a sling. What's my skill with slings? -3 aptitude. Okay, I'm gonna stay away from that. Yeah, I think it's 0 throwing. So if I end up finding some large rocks, I might. Oh, bookshop. Oh, what is this? Okay. What did we get here? I don't like. So ever since the changes to to book names, I don't know what has what. Obviously, we don't care about Necronomicon. Shock is kind of interesting. Swiftness and Earthstrike are also really good. Um, nope. Passwall, Swiftness, and Invisibility, also not very interested. Summons, maybe Summons is not gonna be so terrible. I am not too much of a fan because I feel like you need to be reasonably tanky for you and your summon to go to town. If you wanna play a summoner like that. And this character is not gonna be tanky because it is going to be an ogre. It will have a lot of HP, but it will also not have a lot of armor class. Um, see, Book of Callings. Yeah, we already decided that that may not be the better thing for us. Debilitation. Nope. Dreams. Nope. Transfigurations. It has dragon form. I could end up going for dragon form. I feel like it might be a not so terrible idea, especially considering I already have. Okay. I'm rethinking things now. I have manifold assaults already in my spell library, and this book has dragon form. What if I just start training on armed combat? What if I just do that? It is expensive, but it is a game-winning combination that I got really early. I think it's not a terrible idea for me to do it. Should I train early on armed combat? That is the question. Should I? How am I going to kill things if I don't train on armed combat? We're in a bit of a crossroads. Like, that is a game winning combination, but it's really expensive because it requires me to have enough skill in trans locations to be able to cast Manifold Assault. And it also requires me to have enough skill in transmutations to be able to cast Dragon Form, level 5 and level 7 in two different schools. It is really expensive, alongside, unarmed combat being unarmed combat. Unarmed combat is one of the few skills that you actually want to bring all the way up to 27, so that's a really expensive thing to do. But yeah, it is early. Irradiate. It also has Irradiate. I didn't realize. Oh, it does. Yeah. It is not my favorite spell, but it is one of my favorite spells. We're gonna do that. We're definitely gonna commit to it. In fact, it is excellent that I got it this early and that you reminded me that it has Irradiate, because now I can train spellcasting, get Irradiate, and then go from Irradiate to like just use Irradiate to kill things, and then eventually get all of the pieces necessary to win the game. So it is decent investment in translocations and conjurations, and a major investment in transmutations and unarmed combat, alongside the usual things that you want to train for an ogre, which are fighting. And that's it. Maybe a bit of invocation, so I can take advantage of Lugonu's abilities. Um, but yeah, it's funny that we found this so early in the game, because that's like literally going to be my game plan. And just for curiosity, I don't care about that, and I don't care about that. Okay, that's literally the only book that I wanted, and I am very glad that I got it on D3. Now, every level up from now on is gonna go straight towards intelligence. We don't really need any more strength, because being an ogre, I am going to get strength every 3 levels. That's just how ogres are. Trolls are also the same way. They get a lot of strength very early and very quickly into the game. And it is very helpful because the strength directly adds to the damage that you do with projectile or with throwables and with melee. That seems kinda nasty. I'm gonna exclude that. I don't want to deal with that for now. I might come back after like D5 or something and deal with those goblins. Exciting to watch. Don't think you've seen that or done that before. Starting as a melee background, finding like really amazing items and making a whole 180 on your character. You've never done that. It is not a very common thing to do. In fact, I prefer not to do it because it is kind of hard to mess up your skilling if you do something like that. But it might be worth it for this character, and I really don't like playing melee ogre. So yeah, and the reason why I don't like playing melee ogre is being very clearly exemplified. That one orc with a mace almost killed me. Well, it didn't really almost kill me, but it did bring me to 50% HP, and they were only two lone orcs. Like, not even. Wow, that's really bad. You know what? Maybe I should put a bit of short blades skill on this guy, so I can actually hit things and stuff. I'm gonna get blink immediately because I can. I'm also gonna get a port because we got it. Gonna get well. I'm not gonna get manifold assault now, but I will get it for sure. Um, gonna put a port here. Okay. I need you to go downstairs, sir. I guess we can kill this goblin. Okay. Let's see how it goes. Identify. Let's see what we get. Heal wounds. Orc priest. Okay. It is very poisoned. it retreated into its party, so fingers crossed for it just dying before it starts smiting me. It's looking like it's gonna die. It's almost dead. I'm very poisoned. I don't think it can survive that. Fortunately, it did die before it smote me even once. That's huge, and we end up killing the entirety of the band like that. The power of poison. This character got really strong once we found the Dagger of Venom. And of course, we already have our end game plan, but we need to get there. As I mentioned, we are gonna be leveling up only intelligence. We found Meth. That's interesting. I probably should get it. Meth is really strong. Okay, so we learned Meth. Um, Poison darts as well, pretty good. It's gonna take a bit of skill to be able to cast Meth, but it is really good. Pretty good against every early game monster, pretty much. Okay, Priest, please don't kill me. There we go. Thank you for not killing me. Book of Clouds is really strong. Meth is Night Poison and Freezing Cloud. Yeah, if I find Dolgrub's Toxic Radiance, we're gonna be eating steak tonight pretty much. It's gonna be a good thing if it does happen. Freeze, Hailstorm, Ice Form, Metabolic and Glaciation, and also Kubus Refrigeration. This character keeps getting viable early game magic that I can do. Um, First we got Meth, and now we get Freeze and Ice Form. And Ice Form also plays into like the transmutations theme that I want to go for. In addition to giving me 3 pips of cold resistance for those ice caves. So this might also be a book worth buying. Kind of expensive, however. So I might not be able to buy all of those things. I'm still gonna put it on the wish list. And I will decide later on when I have the money whether I want to buy that or the other book first. Mm. How are you going to mix the stats? All the rest into intelligence because Ogre gets a strength. That is exactly what I am going to do with this character. Only strength for the or only intelligence for the rest of the game. I start with 11 intelligence. It's so low. But then again, I already have 19 strength, so I definitely don't want any more. Well, I do. I do. Like, pretty much you can always get as much strength as you can, but it means that every time I manually level up strength, I don't manually level up intelligence, and I think getting more intelligence is more valuable than getting more strength. That's what I'm trying to say here. Lesser Beckoning, Gale's Gravitas, and Teleport Other. Gale's Gravitas is kind of interesting. And I am going to get translocations for Manifold Assault anyway, so I guess it's kind of nice to have these early game translocations, even if they are not as amazing. Mm, I might learn a couple of them. Excuse me? Okay. Extremely Poison, goodbye. Shoutouts to Poison. Poison is carrying me here, for sure. Yeah, the damage is insane. And talking about insane damage, Wizard with Wand of Acid. 31 damage out of nowhere. Because the Wizard happened to have a Wand of Acid this time around. I think I'm gonna randomly read scrolls now. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Because this guy is not gonna shoot through its orcs, I'm pretty sure. I can use heal wounds. And I still have like a bunch of guys blocking this guy, right? Okay, and he's... Oh, I have rocks. I should probably keep that in mind. Yeah, it cannot shoot me because I still have an orc blocking my line of fire. Teleport immediately, pretty lucky. Um, Now I still need to block the line of fire for of the wizard. That is the most important thing to do. Since we know that this level has a wizard with a wand of acid, it's best to leave. So we go down into D5. Okay, we should be able to kill these guys as long as there's not too many of them. Right. Alrighty, it got kinda scary. There were a lot of those guys, but fortunately the Dagger of Venom carried me there yet again. If you find a Dagger of Venom, even if you're like a Minotaur or something, you should use it. It is that good this early in the game. Yikes. How to travel into melee range of an Ogre. And I still cannot quite blink. It's a 36% chance to fail. Hmm. Okay. The Ogre keeps gaining and losing turns. I thought that randomized energy was gone. I don't know what to believe now. I think it got re-implemented. Okay, we were able to go upstairs. Now I'm gonna be able to heal to full HP, and then I think I might want to exclude that so I don't go into melee range of the Ogre again. I can kill it if it's not within melee range. I can kill it rather easily. And by the way, if you were wondering why I was keeping the mace around, it was for skeletons and mummies that I can kill easily, zombies. What's your bend space percentage? That's also something that I was thinking about. It seems that with the starting invocations that you have, you can use it relatively consistently. But I didn't want to risk the 8% chance of failure. Once I saw that it was losing turns, I decided to just take the chance and leave. And it seemed to have paid off. Okay, now when I am going to fight, or when I fight the ogre, I should make sure that I can go all the way back to the stairs. It is very unwise to start a fight and then run into what's potentially a dead end, which is the part that I just explored. So now I think I can fight it, and I can like throw a couple of darts, poison the ogre badly enough, and then just run away. And if it gets too close or if things get too hairy for one reason or another, I can always run to the stairs. Yeah, just like this. It's the ogre is too close. So we are going to exclude that. You don't know how to get there. How come? Ah, I have only found 2 stairs in this D4. And we know that there is still a wizard with a wand of acid. So I'm gonna go down the original stairs. And the ogre will be over there. I like this arena a bit more. It's an open area. Okay, there it is. I'm gonna throw darts of poison. Fingers crossed for the extremely poisoned. I'm gonna try to melee once. You hit the ogre but do no damage, and it hits me for 18. I think I'm good, and I'm good to take another swing. Oh, you barely missed the ogre. Okay, I am scared now. I'm gonna walk away. It completely misses me because I have Amulet of Acrobat. That's pretty good. Okay, looks as sick as possible. It is death. I don't think it's surviving that, yeah. Now we have a giant club here. It is incredibly inaccurate, but it also deals very good damage, and it is only slightly slower than a Morning Star. I would not use that with this character, but if I had committed to training maces instead of doing what I am currently trying to do, that would be a nice thing to use for a while against monsters that don't have a lot of evasion until I find my Morning Star. Yeah, I would probably go from using that to using a Morning Star because it's more accurate and faster, even if it deals significantly less damage. Hmm, Immolation. Conjure Flame and Sticky Flame. Sticky Flame is pretty good. Oh man, it feels crazy to see so many good spells so early into the game. Oh, by the way, I have Ignite Poison and a Dagger of Venom. That might be a pretty good combination to have. Yeah, probably should just hit it. Yeah, I probably should learn that right now. Okay, we're about to hit my cap on short blades. It's at 6. So we are gonna be training poison to 5. Yeah, poison to 5 is gonna be fine. Transmutations to 5. And I think it's Air Magic to 5. Poison Air Fire Transmutation Poison. That's my bad. Anyway, I still need Air Magic, so it doesn't matter. Fits in with your transmutation training. Yeah, for sure. All of these spells are like oddly synergistic with my end goal. Hmm. That is not what we should do. We should exclude that. Yeah. That's a bit too much for a character that is using a weapon of venom. I think I may be able to kill that one if it's alone. It might be a close call, but I'm gonna give it a try. Scary +4 Mace of Freezing. Yeah, for sure. Whites in general are like so messed up. They hit so hard and they always have such good weapons. Normally I would be mildly excited to see white bands as a melee character, but yeah, not with this character. It's gonna take me a while for me. It's gonna take a while for me to regen enough HP to be able to fight this guy. I'm gonna try to leave the level and heal to full HP. I see that it's kinda missing turns that white. There we go. Um, yeah, let's not forget that this level has a wizard with a wand of acid, which is extremely dangerous. We don't want to have anything to do with that guy. Okay, Mr. White, I need you to get over here so I can throw some rocks at you. Pretty sure it's very close to there. I feel like it's luring me in. By the way, Ogre Abyssal Knight is really difficult. Troll Abyssal Knight would be significantly easier. Oh, come on. It got hit twice by large rocks and it didn't take any damage by large rocks. I feel like I just got roughed there. I'm just gonna say it how it is. I feel like I got Omega roughed. Fortunately, we actually killed it with the mace. I feel like I got really lucky there. Okay, so now I think I want to get Ignite Poison castable. I think it's kind of important for me to do that. So I'm gonna train all those three because those are the relevant skills for Ignite Poison. Okay, I guess we're gonna go down. Didn't want to get Blink castable first. Blink is important, but I also have Bend Space. Bend Space makes it so that I can use Blink and it's not that big of a need, or that I can Blink. As long as I don't wait until the last possible moment, um, it is fine. And I think it's more important for me to get offensive skills than defensive skills. Um, because if you cannot kill things, you won't be able to get more experience to kill things. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, you're moderately damaged now. I am wielding the mace. Bend space. Pretty good. Throw some rocks. Hey, we got the hit and we killed the white and we get um, a weapon upgrade. It's not that big of a deal to get this better mace because I still think the dagger is better, especially after having trained it to 0.7 delay. But it is gonna be good for those skeletons and stuff, including whites, by the way. Yeah, talking about whites, it got 3 hits on me. Fortunately, I think it missed twice or something, but the one hit that it did do dealt 20. Oh, only 2 hits, it seems. But anyway, we can just pillar dance this guy. You know, it's kind of crazy how these generate in a band on D6, and this character needs to pillar dance a single one because it deals that much damage. Um, this is a really weak character, so fingers crossed for me getting to the point in the game where I can do all the cool things that I have already explained. Like, I hope that I can get to the point where I can exercise my game plan. Okay, I am very high on HP now. Maybe a bit more. It got a free attack on me. I can tap it now. There we go. But yeah, they deal crazy high damage. I hope that was it. I don't want to see any more whites. Mm, and of course, we're stuck with Lugonu. Lugonu Wrath is not good. I don't think it banishes you anymore, but it is still not something that you want to deal with. Probably shouldn't use the mace. Probably should use that. Yeah, now it's dead, and I just have to walk away. There we go. Okay, any second now. There we go, easy peasy. And everything went up to level 2. Yeah, there we go. Ignite poison at 34%. We're kind of getting there. Kind of. Those heavy rocks do a lot of damage. Yeah, base damage 20 is really good. Also, throwing and unarmed combat work in the same way, I've heard, in the sense that whenever you train throwing or unarmed combat, your base damage increases. So add your base damage to the damage of the weapon, and it is a lot of damage. By the way, I got a bit of a typo there. I accidentally gave the jelly an extra attack. Um, so yeah, pesky jellies and 12 corrosion. Okay. Oh, I have bend space. I probably should use that. Not a good bend space, I have to say, but maybe enough to leave the level. Okay. There is a hatch upstairs, but I shouldn't take a hatch because the previous level has an orc with a wand of acid, and we don't want to have anything to do with any of those guys. Mm, You should probably play a better god or use your potions better. You were playing a troll heavy rock thrower. Problem is later on in the game it seems like you need magic. Nah, a troll never needs magic. Like never. I don't think I've ever won a troll spellcaster, and I've been playing for 10 years. So I can tell you for sure that a troll doesn't need spellcasting. Um, what a troll needs is kind of good threat assessment. You need to be able to know what can kill you, how it can kill you, and what you can do to avoid dying to things. Because even if you deal a bunch of damage, things also deal a bunch of damage to you in return. As long as you know how to do that, you will be able to play whatever kind of troll you want. But if you don't play an unarmed combat troll, it might be a bit too weak for you. Oh man, I hate this jelly. This jelly sucks. It's so hard to kill. It deals way too much damage. But then again, I am an ogre, a melee ogre. That's kind of what I signed up for when I started a melee ogre. Everything dealing a lot of damage. Kind of a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. I should have started a troll instead. But okay, here's the thing. If I make it to the point in the game where I can do all the cool things, I am not going to regret starting a troll, but getting to that point is gonna be pretty painful. We got Dispersal, which could have saved me with the last character, but I just forgot that I had it. Kind of tragic as well. I want to heal to full HP. By the way, what's my SOT clock? Oh, it's still a lot, 25,000. It is a bit of a concern, but not so much. Like, it is very lenient. You get 6,000 turns every time you enter a new floor. So unless you're spending 6,000 turns on every floor, you should never have any SOT clock issues with any character. Okay, this phantom just blinked me into a very unfavorable position. I'm gonna use my teleport to not be there. Another book. Unfortunately, you learned nothing new. I see. I would have been very happy with that thing early on with another character. Unfortunately, we are an ogre and we cannot wear that. Necrophage. I'm just gonna wait for it to get over here. And by wait, I mean retreat and throw some rocks. Even with zero skill, like sometimes they hit and they deal a fair amount of damage. You much prefer salt clock to food. I think everyone does. Like, whoever tells you they preferred food to the salt clock, they are just lying. They're just lying, or they just straight up have not played a version with the salt clock. Because the cool thing about the salt clock is that it doesn't exist. And food also didn't exist in the way that it was designed before. So it was never a real threat to starve in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. It is a threat in other roguelikes, but Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup like kind of went in a different direction. And by the way, we found so many whites, and I am at half HP, and these guys alone, like a single one, is powerful enough to drive me close to death. So that's the worst thing that I could have found here. Make it to the stairs, heal to full HP, exclude that. Wait, I think I had already excluded that. Well, what is that? A weapon boutique. That could change the route this character takes, that weapon boutique. Is this... Oh, it is a stone, unfortunately. I don't have digging anyway. I'm gonna make it to the stairs again. Let's see if we can bring this guy up. It has a good weapon. Everyone has a good weapon. I don't know why I am surprised that a white has a good weapon. That's kind of their thing. Okay. Yep, 25 damage. We are gonna walk away from it until it loses a turn. A lot of pillar dancing. If this character was in a version with no randomized monster energy, this would be impossible. Like I would just already be dead because I would never be able to survive fights where things go this bad. And every fight that I've taken, pretty much, things go really bad. So yeah, very liberal use of pillar dancing here. This is what a weak character looks like. If you have ever wondered what a weak character is, this would be it. The difference between a mage ogre and a melee ogre is like night and day. I would go as far as to consider them two different species. Mage ogre, put it on intermediate. Melee ogre, put it on advanced. That's how I think about it. Um, Food was tedious, yeah, for sure. For sure it was. I had a thing in my RC file that made me automatically butcher and eat monsters. It just happened automatically whenever I auto traveled on top of a corpse. So I never really felt food. But the normal players, like the players that are not invested enough to have that kind of thing in their RC file, shouldn't have to go through the tedium of food. It never really added anything. Ooh, that's not good either. But I have bench space, so let's do that right now. Okay, we can throw a rock. It hits the black bear, deals a bunch of damage. We get an early berserk from the black bear, puts me at 50 HP. I'm gonna pillar dance this white because we've already established that they are way too powerful for me. We find the other one. It's super unlucky. Mm, I think I'm gonna bend space again when I am close to the upstairs. So I can go upstairs, heal to full HP, come back down, and try to kill them one by one. I just can't progress without killing these two whites. Bend space. Probably should have done it earlier. That's fine. This one probably deals less damage than this one. This one has a highly enchanted War Axe of Freezing, and the other one has an unbranded, unenchanted Battle Axe. So I am slightly less scared of the one with the Battle Axe, believe it or not. I think I would like to bring it upstairs with me. Okay, I am gonna get hit one more time. Oh, we got a dodge. Pretty lucky. Oh, it gets an extra attack and I dodge it as well. Okay, it's looking decent. Ooh, one shot with a large rock. Not gonna complain about that. Okay, I think we should be fine just to go downstairs into... Maybe not. Okay, bend space to gain some ground. Well, that's the opposite of gaining some ground. Hey, it's almost destroyed. Wow, crazy. It was so low on HP that I happened to kill it with a single attack with the dagger instead of with the mace. Mm. Yeah, Lash Rock MVP here. Mm. Okay, let us continue. This is very early in the game, so yeah. When I say the early game is the hardest part of the game, it is not like a meme or a joke. It really is the hardest part of the game. It's just that some backgrounds are really powerful early on, so you may get the chance to not have to go through a hard early game. Like for example, any kind of melee minotaur or heal orc or troll will have an easy early game, but they will kind of pay the price later on, except for Minotaur. Minotaur can just do whatever, because Minotaur is that powerful. Okay, pretty good. Now, okay. I was a bit worried that I was not going to be able to kill the two of those things in the same fight. Fortunately, we were able to. Okay, I would like to pick up my rocks before fighting that white that appeared. Hardest part of the game, but you usually feel less attached to your character. I think that's a lot of people's thing. They usually don't put in too much effort because it's the early game, and it didn't really take you that long to get to this point. So why worry that much? But whenever I start a game, I try to win that game. Sometimes it's really painful to try to win it, of course, but I try to win every game that I begin. I don't want to just wait for a win to land on my lap. You know, I don't wanna get the best items or the best early monster generation. I wanna win no matter what the game throws at me. So yeah, I do feel attached to pretty much every character that I start. But yeah, that is a bit of an issue when I start some of the weaker things, like this guy. This guy is super weak. Mm, okay. A lot of things that are not vulnerable to poison in that level. By the way, maybe I should go back to D3 because I think D3 has that vault with the goblins and their slings. Maybe we could get something done there. By the way, I'm about to hit minimum or like my set training on Ignite Poison. I am training Air Magic instead of training Poison Magic, and I didn't notice. That is a bit of a shame. Fortunately, I'm almost done with the other things, so it shouldn't really take me that long to get to the point where I can actually cast Ignite Poison. I was wondering why it was still so hard to cast. You have a Wand of Flame. That's not nearly as dangerous as a Wand of Acid. We get an easy kill. Egive and her goblins were guarding Garbage, but the Wand of Flaming might be useful. You're waiting for me to play Cat and be very sad about it? I hope that it doesn't happen because Cat is very painful. Last time I played a Cat was like a year ago. I think I put the playthrough on YouTube, but I am not sure. What I am sure about, however, is that it took me 10 hours to finish that Cat. 10 hours. And it was only a 3 rune character. 10 hours. By the way, we found a Darflail. It might be a bit of an upgrade compared to the Maze because it has more base damage and it swings faster, even if it's like not enchanted at all. And I am only gonna switch to using that whenever I wanna attack something that is not poison resistant. So the brand being freezing doesn't really do that well against things that are poison resistant. Like for example, this water moccasin skeleton. Alrighty, that went well. Another white. Okay, what do you have? A Falchion, unenchanted. Easy kill. Alrighty. 16% chance to miscast Ignite Poison. After this, after getting Ignite Poison, I'm gonna train for Mephitic Cloud, and I'm gonna get like 10 spell casting, so I can have a bunch of mana and I can cast my things. Mummy. Okay, we should be able to kill it. Mummies are slow, so you can always. They don't normally generate. They only get placed in bolts nowadays. But as you can see, it is very slow. The same applies to Menkaure, but Menkaure is obviously a special case because Menkaure is really threatening with the torment and the slow and the pain. Menkaure is pretty much an early game Royal Mummy if you think about it. Fingers crossed for this guy dropping scales, by the way. Fingers crossed. Oh, come on. There we go. Sick as possible. I put on the Ring of Fire that I had. Ooh, it did drop scales. So that's a bit of an upgrade. Now we don't have to use a Rove, and now we have Steam scales. So that's 6 armor class that we got now. Let me take off the Ring of Fire because it makes me weak to cold. 2 whites. Not what I wanted to see for obvious reasons. Ooh, okay, that's not fine actually. That's fine. Okay. I feel like with the Darflail, I'm actually killing things way faster than I was doing before with the mace. So it was a good upgrade. Are you still doing the tutorial series with all races? Yes, I just haven't played a single game in that account since the tournament started. I should go back to it. Um, I also kind of stopped because I didn't know at the time when I started the series, but Torinsky is kind of doing the same thing, except that it's not a tutorial series because Torinsky doesn't want to do that. Like that's not how Torinsky has branded it. And I felt like it was a bit of overlapping content. Just didn't want to get in the way of that because that's kind of jerkish, you know. So I haven't uploaded anything from that series in a while. My amulet of acrobat is like really putting in some work for sure. 2 ice beasts, they hurt. Okay, at least they got poisoned by my dagger. They're not immune to poison, they're only resistant. So yeah, whenever we poison them, it's kind of lucky. But it is a thing that is bound to happen if you melee them enough. Potion of 3 is huge. If we get into a complicated fight, we can use Potion of 3 to just not die in said fight. Okay, one more. There we go. And I have my cloak. Normally, I wouldn't have done that. But with this character and its pitiful armor class, I feel like I need any source of defenses that the game throws at me. So I just ended up going for that. Talking about source of defenses, fingers crossed for Troll Letter. I would definitely love to have Troll Letter from this guy, or from this guy. I also don't want it to kill me. It is a troll, however, so it might be complicated for me to poison it to death. And it hurts quite a bit, as you can see. Bend space. Okay, I'm gonna try to run to the upstairs, heal to full HP, and try something different, because obviously that didn't work well. I have Ignite Poison. Okay, that's my plan. That's my plan. I'm gonna go upstairs, heal to full HP, come back down, tab until it's extremely poison, and then go for the Ignite Poison kill. I'll also throw some rocks before it reaches me. That's gonna be the plan. Yeah, now that I have Ignite Poison available, things are gonna be a bit easier. 5 of these. I want like 10 of these because the thing about spellcasting is that normally you don't want to train that much of spellcasting because it doesn't contribute as much to your spells. But think about the spells that I have. I have Meph, Ignite, Poison, and then on top of that I'm going to be using transmutation or translocations and a bunch of stuff. So it is a bunch of spell schools. So spellcasting is going to add a bit to all of those schools. So I think it is very reasonable for me to train it all the way until 10. Or poison darts, since I can ignite poison. Yeah, poison darts might be better. Where? Okay, it's over there. That guy's over there. Poison darts. I'll try to go for the extremely poisoned. Come on. There we go. Goodbye. Alright, Ignite Poison carrying. Unfortunately, it didn't drop scales. But or rather not scales, throw letter. But you know what it is. We should still be okay. It would be a slight decrease in armor class, but obviously I would gain the regen, which would be really good. Okay, cure the confusion. I may also have access to Meph now. I can do Meph. Double miscast at 14%. Okay, at least I didn't get instantly confused. Ignite Poison. Ooh, I was not counting on a priest to spawn. Please get confused. Oh, it's not even like it doesn't even have a chance to get confused. It's not good. Okay, we get rid of the warrior, and then we get rid of the priest. Okay, that could have gone really bad. I'm very glad that it didn't. Okay, center. Goodbye, center. Easy peasy. More orcs and a white. Okay. White I am afraid of. The orc, not so much. Killer bee zombie could be an issue because of the evasion. Fortunately, it is not. A normal killer bee would be super bad to this character because killer bees thrive on killing characters that don't have good defenses or don't have poison resistance. My character doesn't have either of those things. I'm gonna wait for the white to get over here, throw some rocks. Dark flail time. We get the kill. Oh, +4 greatsword. That's probably the highest damage weapon that I've seen a white carry so far. Not ever, only in this run. But yeah, that was a big damage weapon with big enchantment. Okay, walk away. Wait for them to get over here. So many whites we have seen in this playthrough. I don't know. Well, it is rather unlucky because this character doesn't really care about the weapons. Oh, wow, +4 Morningstar. That is crazy. And I was stabbing with the dagger. That's also really bad. Yikes. Okay. What's my chance to bend space? 7%. I'm gonna kite it until I have like 30 HP. With 24 HP, I don't feel like I would survive a hit. But with 30, that's a bit more reliable. Okay, bend space. Are you joking? Like so many tiles where I could have landed and I land next to the white. And then it misses me. Well, I guess it missed. That's fine. But still, come on. Close the door. Blink, or bend space rather. I'm just gonna walk away. I don't wanna walk to the stairs because I feel like it would reach me if I did that. So instead of that, I'm gonna slowly and carefully get away from that guy. Okay, back at full HP, as full as it can be with so much drain. Switch to the Darflail, switch to the large rocks. I guess I can also throw Mephic Knight poison at the white. That white has a pretty good weapon as well. Mephic Knight poison. Poke it. We one-shot it pretty much. And now I think I'm gonna use this Morningstar instead of the Darflail. The damage is the same on the Morningstar and the Darflail, but the Morningstar is slightly slower. Or rather, yeah, it's slightly slower. On the other hand, the Morningstar is +4. So yeah, I think that compensates for being slightly slower than the Darflail. It is also slightly more accurate, it seems. So that's good. Okay. Fingers crossed for this going well. Oh, you aren't in the abyss. I typoed into doing something that I didn't want to do. Alright. Yeah, Mephic Knight Poison will help here. Okay. Was it even big damage? No, it was negligible damage on those guys. I happen to have a Wand of Acid. Might as well put it to use. There we go. Yeah, at this point I feel like I don't wanna pillar dance and do that kind of stuff anymore. It is pretty boring but optimal. So it's no wonder that it's on the chopping block actually. Now I do remember there was a shop that was only accessible by going upstairs. I feel like maybe I wanna check it because maybe it has like a demon trident or something, like a really good one-handed weapon that I could use. Okay, Fustibalus of Valiance. That's a pretty decent weapon. Unfortunately, I have -3 on slings. It is also really expensive, and by the time I would have the money to buy that, I could buy like 3 different books. Not all 3 of them, but I could choose between 3 different books. So I'm not gonna buy that Fustiva Luz. But if I wasn't going for magic, that would have been a pretty good weapon. How was Terraria? I got killed by Duke Fishron 3 times, and I got a subscriber actually, new follower and new subscriber. Um, I greatly appreciate it. By the way, if you're still watching, Dicey, thank you so much for following and subscribing. Um, so yeah, it went well for that at least. But unfortunately, I didn't make any progress. I'll look up how to progress through that part of the game or like off stream. I wonder if that one is a wand of digging. That's the only way to get in there. And I don't have digging, so we're gonna go downstairs. Paralysis. It's not very good. I don't have evocations just yet, but I do have ignite poison. There we go. And by the way, the combination of the dagger of venom and the ignite poison is really strong. Just like that, like it one-shots monsters pretty much. Psyche with distortion and a +2 robe of cold resistance. Really dangerous, not gonna lie. She could banish me. If she banishes me, I can always immediately get out of the abyss, however, so that makes her slightly less dangerous than to the average character. And now I have access to a robe of cold resistance. It lowers my armor class by 1, but it gives me cold resistance, which is pretty nice. Also makes me not weak to fire or not weak to cold if I have to put on the Ring of Fire, which might be relevant. Unfortunately, I got dispersal. I guess I can bend space. Okay, get rid of the brigands. Wow, those kobolds and that dispersal trap, that's the kind of thing that you see much later in the game. We found an amulet of regen, which I'm gonna put on because, as everyone knows, regen is my favorite amulet in the whole game. I think of it as a really powerful thing that vastly outclasses everything else that amulets have to offer. I feel like the benefits of using regen are much more noticeable than the benefits of using anything else. Do you even have a cloud on? Probably not. Okay, round 2. Okay, pretty good. Did it wander outside of the water, the electric eel? Flops around on dry land, huh? So that can happen, I guess. Fire wand, I could also do that. In fact, that is the better choice. It's just that I am not used to doing that kind of thing. But yeah, for sure, it is the correct thing to do. And I will do it for the other eels. Okay, Trolls gets confused. Troll gets ignited. Troll gets poisoned by darts. Troll gets killed by ignite poison and drops Troll letter. Really good. So now I have 2 points of regen. You love to see it. Goodbye. Let me wear that. I prefer that over what I was using before. Pretty lucky that only. Oh wait, instead of using a Wand of Flame, now that I don't have to, I guess I can use. Well, no, now I have to. There's 2 of them. Okay, first over here to block line of sight. Didn't block it well enough, but it is heavily wounded from the steam. Maybe we can get the kill. Okay. Okay, it's looking pretty good. You had a tough time with eels until you learned the trick with the fire wand. I still hate eels. I personally would prefer it if eels were just removed from the game. I think of them like as statues, in the sense that you just don't go near them, and then they are not really an issue anymore, right? But unlike statues, they cover a large area, like a very large area, and that just makes them annoying if you know that the optimal thing to do is to just not go next to them. That, in my opinion, is a good enough reason to remove them because they are not dangerous, they're tedious, and that's the kind of thing that gets removed. Okay, kill the troll. Morris is over there, so I kinda don't wanna have anything to deal with him until I am at high HP. Morris also happens to have poison darts. That's kinda dangerous. Uh, Wand of Paralysis is also pretty bad. Oh, Morris drinks a potion. Morris is suddenly more resistant. That sucks. Can I paralyze you? 46%. That's a coin flip. I'm gonna give it a try. We fail, and Morris goes invisible. Let's try again. Okay, Morris is still there, not paralyzed. Maybe one more try. Okay, now I think Morris is paralyzed because nothing happened in return. I'm gonna throw a rock. And yeah, Morris is paralyzed. He's not moving. There we go. We get the kill. Um, Pretty good indeed. Ice Blast could have also worked, but I decided not to do it because Ice Blast is kind of precious. In my opinion, more important than Paralysis. I have very little charges of it. And Morris was also resistant to cold because he drank a potion of resistance. So it would have taken a lot of charges of something that I don't have a lot of charges of in order to kill him. I actually wanted to preserve as much Ice Blast as I could. Um, it was very intentional that I didn't use Ice Blast in that fight. Paralysis didn't hit invisible enemies. No, it hits in a line. It actually doesn't check evasion. So as long as you know where the monster is, you can target it. It can be really hard to determine if a monster is hexed or not because you can't see it. So it might be affected, but you may not know. It takes like knowing where the monster is and knowing if it's moving or not. Obviously, is really difficult if you try to confuse a monster. I guess it's not that much of an issue nowadays that I don't think players have a lot of access to confusion. Do wands of confusion exist? I don't think so. Also, the confuse spell is gone. Now there's confusing touch. I think that's what it is. I don't use that because I consider it to be really, really bad. Um, but yeah, that's kind of how it is. Probably should swing the Morning Star instead of swinging the dagger. Okay, big damage, but I also deal big damage with this +4 Morning Star that I found on the floor. Okay, this is fine. I can walk to the stairs, which is the safe thing to do. Okay, in this corridor I am perfectly fine, so I'm just gonna poison the yak, ignite poison, switch to the Morning Star, poke the warrior until it dies with my Morning Star. Kidoki. Easy peasy. I'm gonna not carry that Ring of Flight around. It's kinda not very good. Yikes, big damage from the Orc Warrior. Two-Headed Ogre comes in to join the party. I am at full HP, so it is definitely not as bad of a situation as you would think. Shoutouts to all the regen that I have. Wow, what's up with the humans? Okay, I wish I had poison resistance for self-meffing. I think that would be a pretty good. Oh, it gets lucky with a free turn. But then I get lucky with a free turn. We're not gonna go down those stairs anymore. A crystal whip. That could be interesting. Confuse the two-head ogre. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. Extremely poison. Goodbye. All right. Let's check out that crystal whip. It seems kinda decent, not gonna lie. It is +7 on Vorpal. I don't know if it's better than the Morning Star. It's probably not that good compared to the Morning Star, but it is faster. Base attack delay of 1.1 compared to the 1.5 of the Morning Star. Probably should do a bit of these and like just carry the two of them around. I need to try them on like whites or something to see. Oh, it's probably not gonna be very good for the whites because they have a fair amount of armor class. Faster and more accurate. How does the +5 impact your spellcasting? It doesn't at all. Weapon enchantment only impacts the weapon, and that's pretty much it. Oh, the +5 intelligence. I didn't even notice that. I'm just so used to ignoring that kind of thing, but it doesn't look bad at all. Look at that. 3% ignite poison, 4% meth. Not terrible. Um, Maybe I should start training for irradiate. Yeah. 11 conjurations, 11 transmutations, and also 5 translocations. All right, that looks good. It also makes Blink castable. Yeah, 16%. That's kind of why I want to train translocations now, because it's cheap. It's cheap, it doesn't bite into my HP. I feel like it's gonna be easier and more relevant for me to get that to like 0% or 1% before getting the Lugonu invocation. And the Lugonu invocation also costs a bit of HP that I may not be able to spare. Okay, easy peasy. Trident of Freezing would have been a pretty nice weapon to have if I had indeed started with polearms. But we came to the conclusion that that was not the correct thing to do with this character. Meph, Ignite Poison, big damage. Meph, Ignite Poison again. Big damage again. Killed everything. One of these kobolds had Curer, I think. Yeah, now I have access to one Curer dart. It might be pretty good. Okay, gonna try to Meph and then Poison and then Ignite Poison. Pretty good. And then again. And now I feel like the character is starting to get pretty good. Who knew that if you survive for long enough to be able to cast spells as a Nugger, the game would get so much easier, right? That looks like Orc. Yeah, it's probably the entrance to Orc. Probably shouldn't fight in line of sight of a priest all the way over there. It is pretty dangerous to do that kind of thing. And by the way, shoutouts to my Ogre HP. I have not trained a single point of fighting, and I have 100 HP at experience level 11. Look at that, it's beautiful. For fighting, 100 HP. You love to see it. What is that? Oh, it's willpower on a leather armor. I would have loved to use it, but alas, I can't because I am a Nugger. Okay, Book of Transfigurations. That's the one that has irradiate. So I have learned my lesson. In the past, I have struggled quite a bit because of not having irradiate early in the game when it is accessible earlier to me. So now we are gonna train. We're gonna rush it pretty much. And yeah, it might be surprising for me to be training 4 skills at a time, but I think we're fine with what we currently have, and I can afford to train 4 skills at a time. Pretty much rushing towards Irradiate because all of the skills are either related to Irradiate or translocations, which is what I need for Blink, which is already at 11%. It will not take much longer until I can actually kill things, or not kill things, but like use it with a better success rate than what I had with my other thing. Okay, you know what? For this vampire, maybe it's a good idea to use a Morning Star because of the higher base damage. I think I'm gonna need like two shot the vampire, or I won't be able to kill it at all. Okay, I'm gonna try to make a run for it. Don't confuse me, please. We resist the confusion. Pretty lucky. Okay. Okay. So many on death. Like, I think we got the Dagger of Venom and Meph, and immediately after we got those things, the game was like, oh, he's using Venom to be a Kroll character. We cannot have that. And then we got like 3 or 4 levels in a row with white bands, with zombies, with skeletons. Come on. This has not been a what I would call a lucky playthrough. Um, Come on, please let me kill you, Mr. Vampire. Okay, the Vampire is not cooperating. I think it's way too powerful for me. Um, okay. I wish I had anything else that I could do. I can blink now, at least. Okay. It is almost dead. I'm gonna go for the Ice Blast because it doesn't miss. We get the kill. No. Okie dokie. Pretty good. Okay. Still looking for Toxic Radiance. If we get Toxic Radiance, we are gonna be quite powerful. Let me immediately learn Irradiate. Yeah, if you're just joining in, I know that a lot of people were not here when I started this character. Um, we went for an Ogre Abyssal Knight because I have yet to one-on-one an Abyssal Knight in this account. I got a two-on-one with Formicid, I think, maybe 2 or 3 attempts. I actually don't know for sure. I've already won in this account, but I have a one-on-one with in every other role except for Abyssal Knight, and I want that. Um, and I have never played Ogre Abyssal Knight. I don't think ever. So this is a pretty good chance of a one-on-one. Unfortunately, it is a pretty weak character, so we have been struggling quite a bit. Um, but now I think we are doing kind of okay. Like now we can kill things. That's the most important thing, being able to kill things. Yikes, the Acid Dragon. Okay, I was going to ignite poison the two-headed ogre, but the acid dragon is too dangerous. The two-headed ogre immediately went back to full HP. Okay, I'm gonna kite it to the next level, or to the previous level, because I don't want to have anything to do with that acid dragon. Is it fast? It is not fast, it's just been getting free turns like crazy. Okay. You got your piety up? Yeah, I have 5 pips of piety, but the thing is that I haven't put anything into invocations because I just straight up can't afford to do so. But later on, I'm gonna have a bunch of piety for a bunch of corrupts. We're probably gonna be corrupting some Hydras because I don't see how this character kills Hydras other than some very awkward meth ignite poison shenanigans that I really don't want to partake in. Blink. Poison. Blink again. You miscast Blink. Pretty lousy blinks that we have been getting. Yikes, double miscast in the same fight. Okay, we're fine, we're fine. There we go. Not easy kill, but we do get the kill, and that's the good thing. Meth. We don't get meth. Yeah, okay. Meth plus ignite is what I should be doing against these guys. Meth. Please get confused. I don't think it got confused. Yeah, these guys are just immune to confusion or something, it seems. Okay. There we go. That was a bit of a mess, but we managed to survive. And now the Acid Dragon is gonna be a whole different ordeal because it is resistant to poison. It doesn't have that much damage, or rather, that much HP, I mean. What it does have is damage. The melee is pitiful. The ranged speed acid is definitely not pitiful. It is the opposite of pitiful. It doesn't have that much willpower. Maybe we can get the paralysis. 46% is within the realm of possibility, so I just decided to go for it. And we get some stabbies, and then we get the kill. 3 stabs was enough. And do note that I have 0 stealth, so that's why the stabs were not dealing any damage at all, pretty much. Irradiate 34%. How good does it look with the whip? 26. Okay, so maybe we switch into the whip for casting Irradiate. We are getting pretty close to that being a very real possibility. Gonna turn that off because I feel like I already have good enough success rate for Blink. 4% will be enough for now. Okay, Meth. Okay, that's not looking good. Okay, you're standing on a cloud of fire. We should be able to kill you in a couple of turns. Let's go for acid. Hits the gargoyle but does no damage. And you go for stone arrow for 15. As long as I hold this tile, we should be fine. I just wish that I could see how long the cloud of fire has left on it. How's it going? It's going well. I started with Terraria. I didn't go quite well in Terraria, but I did get a subscriber from playing Terraria, so that's kind of nice. And after that, I killed the Jinn accidentally because Spider, and the Jinn was not the pinnacle of tankiness. It was in a pretty rough spot, that Jinn. Though now that I'm thinking back on it, I realize that I could have used Dispersal. It's just something that I pretty much never use, so I never think of pressing the spell key to see my escape options. Like I just don't think of those existing because I never get them. That's something that was definitely my fault and that could have saved that character, but I just didn't do. And by the way, that was the first cast of Irradiate with this character. Unseen Horror? Probably. If it's an Unseen Horror, we can probably kill it. Oh, it was not an Unseen Horror. It was an invisible, confused warrior. Yeah, Formicid Abyssal Knight in Lair that needs some gear and equipment badly. You fear my Jin's pain? Yeah, talking about Abyssal Knight, this character is an Ogre Abyssal Knight because I realized that I have not one-on-one an Ogre ever. Or rather, I have not one-on-one an Abyssal Knight. That's what I meant. I probably have already won an Ogre, one-on-one an Ogre. Okay, that's pretty good. Good miss. Good miss. Harold unfortunately happens to have poison resistance, so this is gonna be a very awkward fight. I cannot use my best option, which is Meth Ignite Poison. I guess I can Ignite Poison, but 76 HP and that amount of armor class is not gonna do quite well. Harold gets a free turn on me, gains a tile and throws a net. I do have Blink, places me right next to Harold. You couldn't script this thing. This is a Twitch comedy right here. Like, come on, just look at that. I am tempted to re-teleport. Wow, okay. At this point, we're gonna re-teleport. Yep. I am so done with you, Mr. Harold. See you around. Let me pick that up. Let me also get sneaky and pick that up. Okay, back at full HP, but I don't want to take that fight. That's a bit of a complicated fight for my character to take. I would rather explore the rest of the level and try to avoid that guy and his poison resistance for as long as I can. Now, D4 had an orc with a wand of acid that we can kill now, I think. Maybe I already killed the guy. I'm pretty sure I already killed the guy. Maybe the wand of acid that I'm carrying is the wand of acid that guy had. Maybe. I'm carrying the ropes, the elemental ropes, in case I find a volcano or an ice cave, in case you were wondering. Okay. Yeah, I think those guys are dead. Any plan to go Giant Spike Glove? Absolutely not. The plan with this character is to go Dragon Form Manifold Assault, and you may be wondering why. I already have them. A Dragon Form? Well, a Dragon Form is in my spell inventory right there. Dragon Form. Oh, you may not be able to see it in tiles, but you can see it in console. It's right here. Dragon Form. Oh, Well, memorize Dragon Form. I can't learn it yet, but I already have access to it. And Manifold Assault, I also have access to. Have I already bought the book with many? Oh, never mind. I found the book on the floor, the book with Manifold on the floor, and then we found a spellbook shop with Dragon Form and Irradiate, and I that was the moment where I decided that I was gonna be a Dragon Form Manifold Assault Ogre of Lugonu. Um, I'm not gonna have enough mana to do it a lot. I'm gonna have like 3 or 4 Manifold Assaults, but with Dragon Form, that has to be enough. Like, to be fair, that has to be enough. And yeah, I wouldn't go for the giant spike glove ever with any character. It's gonna be Skull Crusher. That's the only way for me to want to use one of those two-handed weapons. Skull Crusher is like the only one that's good enough. In case you don't know, Skull Crusher is a giant club of speed. I think it also has like +5 strength or something. And it is not even that highly enchanted, but it is pretty good regardless. I don't think I can search for it because I am going to try. Item Skull Crusher. Nope. You cannot search for on Randarts, it seems. But oh, well, that's something more interesting than than. Okay, that's ridiculous. I don't know if I should even attempt. I have Manifold Assault. I could still do it. I mean, I don't have Okawaru, but I could do it. Oh man. Oh man, that's the meme weapon. The thing is, I know Dragon Form is better because Dragon Form swings faster, and it also gives you like a million HP to go alongside it. Casting Manifold Assault with Dark Maul, even with 27 skill, still takes more than a single turn. And Dragon Form, it's not like that. So the correct thing to do is not to do it, but on a different character, this could have been incredible. Um, Man, well, anyway, I shouldn't get hit by that. That's something important to remember, because Dark Maul has like base damage of 50 something. So that Cyclops is not really or that two-head ogre is not really a two-head ogre. It's more like a Juggernaut that fortunately doesn't run very fast towards you. Imagine if that guy had the movement speed of a Juggernaut. That would be fearsome. Okay. I think I'm gonna step away from the. Wow, it's like as if it was not confused at all. What is going on? Oh man, that sucks. Am I going to die because that guy just happened to do the thing that it would have done if it had not been confused like 6 turns in a row? Oh man, that is not cool. Blink? All right, we got lucky with the blink. Could have gone really bad. Fortunately, it did not. Blink again, just to gain a ton of ground on that guy. Um, oh, come on, please. No, apparently not. Maybe I should get some throwing if I want to land um, some darts. I don't want to like, I'm gonna treat this two-head ogre like anti-Eos. It barely missed me with the Dark Mole. It hit me with the other weapon, but the other weapon doesn't matter compared to Dark Mole. I'm gonna treat that guy like I would treat Antaeus, because it is pretty much like Antaeus if you think about it. Okay, you killed the two-head ogre. Give me that. That is mine now. So yeah, base damage 52, base attack delay 3.0. This weapon's minimum attack delay 1.6 is reached at skill level 28. Man, it's like such a meme weapon. But obviously it deals like ridiculous damage. That's like the biggest damage weapon that exists in the whole game. It's not very good still because it takes forever to swing it, despite the fact that it deals massive damage and it has massive base damage. And the Orc Knight decides to hurt me. I guess that's what I get for meleeing an Orc Knight with these beautiful defenses. Okay, pretty good blink. I'm gonna keep walking away. Back at full HP now. Having two sources of regen really helps. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should mef you. Mef you again. Alright, thank you for getting confused. Now I'm gonna try to poison you. Please don't move. There we go. 8-headed Hydra. That's the first Hydra that we have found in this whole playthrough, and I don't think I can take on it yet. We are pretty close to being able to just irradiate. Maybe 3-form Berserk on armed combat will also do the trick. Maybe 3-form Berserk Dagger, and when we come out of the Berserk, we ignite poison. That's how we kill the Hydra. That is pretty janky because it's poison resistant. I guess last but not least, I can also just leave the level because it's all the way over there. I don't like it because I have barely explored the level. I've explored the level vertically, but not horizontally. I think I really should leave the level. Okay, leave the level. Oh, Boulder Beetle rolling. Well, that's a good way not to be there. That's a good reason not to be there, I mean. And now, where was the Hydra? Oh, the Hydra is over there. Maybe I can avoid it altogether. Maybe I run into a dead end. D12 always feels like a big jump in difficulty. Yeah, I tend to do D12 and then like that's it. After D12, I tend to go other places. I really want to kill this Hydra, but I know it's like a huge waste of resources that I shouldn't do. So what I'm gonna do instead is just like go around this nice big pillar that we got here, exclude that, and go do something else. Dark Mold the Hydra, I would get killed. Like no joke, I would die if I tried to Dark Mold the Hydra. I don't think I would even survive a single turn because that's quite probably 24 attacks by the Hydra with 6-9 defenses. Yeah, I would die. In fact, I don't think I would survive to see the next turn after I swing Dark Maul. 3-form plus Dark Maul. Nah, if I was going to use 3-form, I would use 3-form Berserk on armed combat. That's what I would do, because 3-form on armed combat is pretty good. It's like Blade Hands, I think. Like it deals that much damage. Let's go do there. Where is Sork? Where is Sork? Ah, it's on D12. Oh, I see. Tragic. But anyway, I guess by the time we're done with Lair, we should be able to deal with that Hydra. Intelligence. 22% chance to irradiate. If I switch to my whip, it's 16%. That is going to be very useful very soon. Let me switch to my rocks. Throw a rock. Irradiate kills the cane toad. Big poison. We took like 40 damage from a single attack by a cane toad. Or was probably where the Knight and the Dark Maul two-headed ogre was. Quite probably. I am a bit surprised that it was not in that huge vault with a bunch of orcs that we found before. That's where I would have thought it would be, but it was not. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good indeed. 13% chance to miscast Irradiate is pretty nice if you think about it. Irradiate is a hard carry spell. I love Irradiate. It is like incredibly powerful. I love to use it on every character that has access to it. Okay, Irradiate and Irradiates. 12% Irradiate if I'm using my whip is pretty decent and respectable. Definitely gonna be pretty good against the plethora of monsters in Lair that have poison resistance. For the ones that don't have poison resistance, I should try to go for like Meth, Ignite Poison stuff. Pretty good. Okay. Throw rock. Pretty good. As long as if I have to guess. Oh wait, we can make this fun. We can make this fun. Um, I'm going to make a channel point prediction. I used to run them every time I won, or every time I went into SOT 5 in the Earth run. But I haven't done them in a while because people were not really partaking into them. But this might be interesting. For the rest, no, that's too long. But I'm going to resume it for you. For the rest of the stream, will I get yellow contamination, or rather not yellow contamination? Will I get malmutated as a result of casting Irradiate too much? Um, yes and no. And I can make that like 5 minutes or something because it's not gonna happen soon. So everyone has like time to vote. Um, So yeah, for the rest of the stream, will I get a bad mutation? Well, mutation from irradiate contamination. Doesn't necessarily have to be a bad mutation. It only has to be a mutation uh, from the abuse of irradiate. If I was betting on that, I would say that I will, because I am likely to make mistakes like that. But fingers crossed for that not happening. I'm gonna try to be extra careful because this character cannot afford like any weakness like that. Um, okay, switch to the dagger. Poison the wolf. Kill the wolf. Poison the wolf. Poison the wolf. Kill the wolf. Alrighty. Mm, okie dokie. Some yaks. We should be able to kill these guys with meth pretty easily. By the way, considering what we are going to be doing with this character, I would like to see statue form. Statue form would be a good way to get immunity to poison and also pretty decent defenses without sacrificing the kind of build that I'm going for. By the way, only 10% chance of miscasting Irradiate now. It's looking pretty good. 13% if I'm wielding the dagger. Um, yeah, the character is finally getting powerful. I'm really excited for that. After that ordeal of an early game, I feel like I deserve it. And we got freeze. I would have appreciated getting freeze way earlier in the game. And we did find a book that had it, but I feel like we didn't get it early enough to be worth using. Okay, I think another radiate kills that Hydra. Yeah, went pretty well. I decided to go for the Hydra kill because we were like it was seven-headed, I was at full HP, and I can also like cast Irradiate now. Oh, what is that? A glowing hat. I need that. I need that a lot. Now, the wolves or the spiders in general like terrify me. Don't be misled. It's just that I think that I can actually kill them. I'm gonna put on a row of fire resistance, and what we are gonna do is like open the door, go for Meth Ignite Poison, and then read a Scroll of Vulnerability. Chances are good, or Immolation, I mean. Come back for the hat once you have resistance to poison. Yeah, I could also drink a potion of 3 to give myself resistance to poison. It does give resistance to poison, right? Let me make sure, because I actually don't remember for real. I might be misremembering something. Ah, it does have resistance to poison. Okay, that resolves that mystery. By any chance do I have statue form? Because the statue form would be kinda good. I have, no, I thought that I had ice form, but I have summon ice beast, which is kinda similar, but except not really. I have ramparts. Ramparts would have been good, but alas, it's a bit too late for that. I wonder if I could go into Freezing Cloud. It's probably a waste. Yeah, the experience is gonna be kind of limited with this character because I'm gonna go for things that are really expensive, so I probably shouldn't. In fact, I was wondering about not going for Irradiate because it requires 10 to 11 conjurations to be castable. But I ended up deciding to go for it because it's like a stepping stone. Like I will never get to the point where I can cast Manifold Dragon Form if I don't go for conjurations in the first place. Alrighty, so let's drink a potion of 3 first and foremost. Mm, I can torment now because these guys are not. I am immune and those guys are not. Okay. Immolation, torment. Hey, you love to see it. That went pretty well. And now I will get hurt by the clouds of fire, but not for long. It didn't last for long enough. I like the flavor text for confused spiders. The tarantula seems to be having trouble coordinating or all 8 of its legs. That's pretty funny. Uh, we are gonna throw some darts. There we go. Big kill. And now only all that's left to do is to wait for that. Hat of Sea Invisible, and it was +2 too. It's pretty great. Another translucent door? Wow, it's like a whole gauntlet. Amulet of the Air. I am not a fan of the inaccuracy in the Amulet of the Air. It is compensated for the fact that it is an air enhancer. I think the Amulet of the Air is, as it is right now, is like very well suited for using with Airstrike. You don't see the poll? Oh, it already expired. I wonder if I can open it again. I can. I guess I can refund and just like launch it again. Delete. Yes. So we can do it again. Mm, yes and no. Let's give it 10 minutes. I thought that 5 minutes would be enough, but apparently not. Um, the Giant Spike Club Dream is alive. I don't know if it's alive. If any, it would be Dark Maul, but I don't think I'm gonna use that. I'm just gonna carry it around for the memes. Um, but anyway, as I was saying about the Amulet of the Air, I think it wouldn't be terrible on this character to use the Amulet of the Air. Despite the inaccuracy, think about it, like the things that I'm doing, do they really check evasion? Mev doesn't. Ignite Poison doesn't and Irradiate definitely doesn't. So I think the Amulet of the Air is a reasonable thing to get. However, I'll come back for it way later because unlike the hat that I just got, the Amulet of the Air is not that important. I wonder if these scrolls are acquirement. Let's see if I have any. I have one, and I have a scroll of Identify, so I guess I can enchant armor. So now we know that these are enchant armor. Okay, so we know not to rush them. Ooh, that's a beast ring. Ooh, wow, it's really good. Oh man, that ring is crazy. Oh man, 5 slaying, 4 intelligence, resistance to corrosion, and flight as a nice added little bonus. Like, wow, that ring is insane. I don't think throughout the entirety of my streak I got a ring as good as this one. Or maybe I did, but the thing about that ring is that it does everything that I want to do on this character. Like it does wonders for this character. I can use every part of the ring. Um, the resist corrosion obviously is like the least impactful part of the ring. It is still good because I didn't have it. Um, Flying Ogre image is legitimately terrifying. It's just flying towards you. Oh, by the way, I have an image of an ogre that I found the other day. There's an artist on Twitter that I follow that I it's called like Ball Body or something. He kind of posts some NSFW things. so I wouldn't really like share the Twitter. But he posted a funny picture of an ogre the other day because he also does that. I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna put it on my Discord. But I will not do that right now. I'll do it when the stream is over. Um, in the meantime, now that I have a Ring of Slaying, I can tap things down, but it's probably not the best idea to do so. I should still irradiate things because we're not the kind of character that can just tap things down. Not with 5 armor class. By the way, why do I have 5 armor class? I thought that I had worn the hat. Okay, let's just do that right now. Wear the hat, wear the troll letter. Now we have 8, 9 defenses. Pretty decent. Oh, by the way, having a Nidra spawn in this bolt, I don't know if the bot places an Hydra. If it places an Hydra, that's messed up. If it doesn't place an Hydra, that's super unlucky. Um, that's an absurdly good ring. Yeah, it's like Chevsky's ring. Oh wow, the bot places Hydras. There's no way to two 7-headed Hydras generated randomly there. Like there's no way. That just doesn't happen. And obviously we get hit like a truck. I'm gonna drink heal wounds. We get teleported immediately after that. That's good because that is not okay. That's kind of messed up that that bolt places Hydras. In case you don't know, Hydras move faster when they are going through water. They can go through shallow and deep water, and they move faster when they swim. So that pretty much turns those Hydras into Hydras that you cannot run away from. And Hydras that you cannot run away from are really scary. Ooh, another ring. Ah, okay. This ring is funny. For a second, I thought that I would have gotten a second God tier ring, but Slay -5 is like it counteracts the strongest part of the other ring. I still think it's worth carrying around because it has really good things: resistance to electricity, poison resistance. It is almost good enough for me to just want to put it on. Almost. In fact, I could put it on and just like pretend that I don't have slaying. I think I'm gonna do it actually. I'm just gonna do it. Whenever I don't need these properties, I'll go back to not using it. But for now, I think the 4 armor class is like more important than 5 slaying. Because if you really think about it, I shouldn't melee anything. And if I shouldn't melee anything, I will not be taking advantage of the slaying. So yeah, I think the properties that the ring gives me, most importantly, the 4 armor class, are more powerful than the slaying for now. Later on, things will most likely change. Um, Nergal. Okay. Do you have poison resistance, Nergal? I actually have no idea. You don't. Oh, I see. The flavor text of Nergal changed. She used to. Oh, never mind. Maybe it was Josephine. Maybe it was Josephine. I always get them confused. Yeah, half undead herself. She's immune to negative energy. Okay, for some reason you would think that being half undead would also make you poison resistant, but it doesn't. Um, okay, we're gonna use the Kirer dart that I have right now. There it is, Kirer. Very poisoned. Maybe we can finish up poisoning Nergal. I want her to be extremely poisoned. Yeah, it's a bit of a race against time when it comes to Nergal. Oh, she didn't die from that? Come on. She was very poisoned. Well, I guess I can just do it again. But I still feel a bit scammed that she didn't die from that. Okay. I have found a bunch of scrolls. And very luckily, I have the Blink spell, and I also have Lugonu, so I haven't had the need to do a controlled blink from a scroll of blinking. Um, mm, Miscast Irradiate with 3%. I feel scammed. Irradiate is a pretty good spell to race with for sure. Oh no, it is looking like an extended fight. White Imp. Did I get a nice cave here? Or why are there a million white imps here? It's looking like a nice cave. Irradiates. Irradiates. Yeah, great contamination. Gonna try not to self-sabotage. Yeah, I almost did it. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Like, I know that I shouldn't cast Irradiate again when I am at before yellow contamination, and I still almost did it. The turn after I said that I was not going to do it. I can't believe it. Um, I guess we're gonna have to tap down this Cane Toad. Okay, I'm now gonna wait until I have 5 mana, and then I will do Irradiate again. Maybe you'll get good mutation. Yeah, I would like to get a good mutation from contamination, but I think the chances are like super low. I don't think. Oh, glowing demon blade is sweet, but yeah, no, no, it's not even worth attempting. Ha! Imagine if I got that mutation that makes me resist mutations. Okay, so I know where the imps came from. They came from this direction, so by logic, the ice cave should also be in this direction, right? Now we're gonna wear the robe of cold resistance and hope that it goes well. Let's go in. Okay, simulacra immediately. We are gonna put down some clouds of fire, and the simulacra are going to proceed to kill themselves on them. Pretty nice indeed. Okay, so after having irradiate, I think the next step on this character's training has got to be going for the 15 fighting. Yeah, normally I don't train fighting that high, but being an ogre, like I have +3 aptitude and the highest base HP in the game. Might as well exploit it. And after we are done with that training, I'm gonna have like 150 or so HP, maybe even more than that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have 160 or 170. Is this an? Oh, never mind. The Anaconda Simulacrum is all the way over there. So yeah, that is scary. That's a very scary simulacrum. Do you want to do a small bit of throwing just to get big rocks more accurate? Not necessarily big rocks, but the darts. I thought about doing that earlier. I ended up not going for it. At this point, it wouldn't really be that impactful for the darts. It would still be a good decision for the rocks, but I also think that training so much throwing for rocks is not something that I am very interested in doing with this character because we are going to go for the dragon form manifold assault plan. That is good enough, is ranged, and it also takes a bunch of experience. So I don't think I'm gonna train any throwing anymore. Especially now that I already have Irradiate castable. Irradiate is gonna be amazing for killing things in general. It's already been pretty good. Mm, Oh, very smart Ice Devil. It's not gonna walk towards me. Maybe I can shoot it with flame. Yikes. Okay. Better step past the cloud generator because I feel like that is an unnecessary amount of damage to be taking during this fight. Okie dokie. Freezing Wraith. I remember this vault. Maybe it has been changed since I last did it. But I do think that the one ice cave that has freezing wraiths has like 8 of them. And yeah, that is also pretty messed up in my opinion. Okie dokie. Wow, it's completely avoided the clouds. That's fine. Okay. By the way, transmogrifier. Is that how you're supposed to pronounce that? Transmogrifier? Transmogrifier? Transmogrifier. That's how you're supposed to pronounce that. Transmogrifier. Yeah, for sure. That's a pretty good title. Transmogrifier. Not a title that you get to see very often because people don't have transmutations as their highest skill. It's just not a thing that happens. Mm, okay, pretty good. Righty. Yeah, I am surprised at how good Meph Ignite Poison has been for this character. I guess it's also been pretty good that we have only gotten low-level Simulacrum. We have not gotten anything too crazy like Entropy Weaver Simulacrum. I don't even know if the fabled Entropy Weaver Simulacrum can spawn in this vault. I hope that it can't. Meph plus Ignite is good for any character. I would I would not call it good. I would call it okay, personally, because it still is kind of janky. Sometimes you don't place a cloud where the monster is, and then it does nothing, and you spend 6 mana, well, 3 mana to cast the Meph, and then you do it again, and it still doesn't do anything. Sometimes it's bad, but it can be powerful, so it is like a decent option for some characters. Yeah, like for example, against that Ice Devil, it just straight up didn't place a cloud. Hmm. Okay, get away from me, Mr. Dire Elephant Simulacrum. I don't have enough or enough mana to deal with it, I think. Maybe I do. Okay, it turns out that I did. Oh no, that's not good. Oh, that's actually kind of bad. If I didn't have 5 mana, this would be significantly easier. Yikes. Maybe it is time for me to stop training these things and start training fighting. Yeah, I can already cast Irradiate. 3 dice of 23, kinda lame, but it is usable. Okay. So, acid. We do get acid, okay. It's kind of messed up that the Anaconda simulacrums can constrict you. Okay, still 2 mana. I need to wait for 1 more mana, which should maybe happen very soon, quite probably next turn. Acid. Starting to get scared. Fingers crossed for me being able to break the constriction. We don't. We don't again. Are you standing on Meph? You are. Let's do it. There we go. That was so scary. That's kind of what happens when you are a mana intensive character that doesn't have any way to regain mana. I'm just gonna go for Irradiate again. I don't want to spam it because I know that I will eventually get a contamination from spamming it. But sometimes it feels that legitimately the only way to end the fight in a clean way is to spam that. Oh, we found a guide shield of cold resistance. Okay, I obviously can't use that for now, and I am seriously thinking not getting any training on it at all because it will only get melded when I go for dragon form. Um, so it would be a bit of a waste to train for it. On the other hand, it is a kite shield of cold resistance. It's a pretty good item. Mm, so it might be worth it for me to train for it, regardless of what will ultimately happen with the skill invested on it. And I guess I can also go for statue form if I find it, which doesn't melt the shield. Oh, look at that. We found Osokubo's refrigeration. Ah, that is significantly cheaper than going for Dragon Form Manifold Assault. Because in order to go for Dragon Form Manifold, I need to train for Dragon Form, Manifold, and Unarmed Combat. And for Refrigeration, I need to train for Refrigeration. That's it, one thing, as opposed to three things. Oh man. I think the correct thing to do is to go for Refrigeration, but I don't think I'm gonna do it. It would even be pretty good considering that I have a bunch of ice spells that I could use. Like I have Osokubu's Armor. By the way, I should probably learn that. Um, I have I think I have Ice Form in a shop. I also have Freezing Cloud. Mm, so yeah, there's like a fair amount of spells that I could use before before getting refrigeration. So it would be good from the very start to turn on ice magic. But it's kind of boring. I really want to do the manifold assault character. I haven't done one in a while. See what I mean when I say that Mephic Night Poison is not that good? It just like doesn't place tiles or doesn't place clouds on the monsters, and then it doesn't do anything, and you don't notice. Okay, we're not quite done yet, but we're getting close to it. Another freezing wraith. Kidoki. You know, it's pretty funny how easy they are to kill if you are a mage. If you're a melee character, those guys are suffering, even if you have cold resistance. Are you affected by? You are. Okay, that's pretty good. Acid. Kidoki. Well, this ice statue has supports. And I don't think I can deal with all the support with only 10 mana. I thought that I was going to be able to like make a run for it and just irradiate the ice statue twice to kill it fast. But with two high level simulacrum, well, it's not that high level, but they're like relatively dangerous. I don't think I should. Severely damaged. If I had like Stone Arrow or something, I think it would be a good thing to use here. Mm, it is almost destroyed. We almost got there. I think I can not do that. We recommend everyone try Huitlacoche at least once in their life. Well, you may not know. You probably know because you mentioned that by name. But Huitlacoche is literally fungus that grows on corn. I have never had it myself because I don't like the idea of eating fungi in general. I also don't eat mushrooms or any kinds of things like that. Um, because the idea like makes me nervous, you know, how they look and the texture and stuff like that. They taste good. It's not something that I have never eaten in my life. It's just that I actively try not to eat it. But if I'm like visiting someone and they have food and it has mushrooms, it's not like I am gonna be like, no, I'm sorry, I don't eat that. Um, I'm just gonna say, okay, thank you, and I'm gonna eat it. Um, but it's not something that I like to eat. And when it comes specifically to Huitlacoche, um, I have never had it, and I really am not interested in ever having it. So I cannot tell you how it tastes or anything. It's really not a favorite thing of mine, but it is a popular thing to put on street food here in Mexico. It is definitely not unheard of for people to ask for like huitlacoche quesadillas. Very common actually. So I guess you could try it. It is probably a good idea in general to try things that you have no experience with in life, just to figure out if you like it, if you like them or not. If you never try them, you're never gonna know if you like them. So yeah, I guess as a general rule of thumb, if you have never tried something and you're curious, you should probably give it a try. Worst thing that happens is that you don't like it. That's it. Or well, no, actually, worst possible case scenario, but very unlikely, is that you're allergic to the thing. Um, so yeah, maybe do that, but be aware that that is a thing that can happen, and take the according safety measures when trying new food, I guess. Lamao, today you learned. Thank you. What did you learn today? Corn smut. Yeah, I see. That is an unusual name. Never heard of anyone refer to Huitlacoche as anything like that. Um, but then again, everyone calls Huitlacoche by that name here in Mexico. Tower Shield of Cold Resistance. That's better than the Kite Shield. But the Kite Shield only requires 9 skill because I am an ogre. Oh, this bolt used to place double scrolls or double manuals of ice magic way back in the day. It got super nerfed. Now it's so hard, and the loot is not nearly as good as it used to be. Double manual of ice magic is a hard carry. With double manual of ice magic plus any ice spell is so strong. And now the bolt is so bad. It's such a shame that it got nerfed. It got nerfed in the sense of the loot being so dangerous, and it also is, or the loot being so bad, and the bolt being so dangerous, and placing so many high-level, powerful simulacrum. Um, it's probably not worth it to do ice caves anymore. Even though I did get a kite shield and a tower shield of cold resistance, which are pretty good things to have, um, it may not be worth it. Anyway, I don't have any use for that robe of cold resistance anymore. Gonna drop it because I already did an ice cave and I was keeping it for the precise purpose of doing an ice cave. Kidoki. What did we find? Scroll of Identify and an unidentified scroll, or rather, the scroll was in the place where I would normally have a scroll of Identify. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. You know, earlier on, I felt that the character was really weak, like severely weak. Oh, wow. Okay. I got yellow contamination. I know of cancellation, but I only have one. I also, well, I don't know of mutation, but if I was going to get a bad mutation from casting Irradiate, this would be the time. Um, do note that even though the contamination was not caused by casting Irradiate, it was caused by miscasting Irradiate. So if I was to get a mutation, I would count it. But it didn't happen. There we go. No bad mutations. There it is. No bad mutations. So the bet continues. Oh, and then I immediately cast it again. I can't believe it. Sometimes I can't believe myself. Like, I go through like a whole hour of footage saying I am going to actively try not to give myself yellow contamination with Irradiate. And what do I do after? Oh man, immediately recast. Like, bro. Okay, I can't believe it. I'm sorry. That was absolutely not intentional. That was really like a mistake, but that's why I started the bet because I knew it was going to happen. Will I get a bad mutation from irradiate contamination? I did get a bad mutation. Fortunately, it is kind of irrelevant. Like stat rot doesn't matter. Shaper, thank you so much for the gift shop to Ashley Rain. Thank you so much for the support. I greatly appreciate it. And it's good to share this kind of blunder with people. Well, I guess I wouldn't consider it to be a blunder. In case you don't know, blunder is a chess term that means to make a drastic mistake that usually costs you the game. That is a blunder. If you make a blunder, you're probably going to lose. So I wouldn't
Financially
consider this to
independently.
be a blunder. Ashley, thank you for gifting or for following up the gifts off. I greatly appreciate it. Jakarta 96. Also, I noticed that if it's a random gift of, it doesn't trigger the normal alert, but if it's a targeted one, it does trigger the normal alert. I probably should look into that. By the way, I didn't mention it, but earlier today I was like fiddling around with services that allow me to accept donations with cryptocurrency. And I think I got it set up. Obviously, I will not ask you to like give it a try. I actually like gave it a try with the service itself,
financially
like that.
independently.
Um,
This is a 1-up coin test alert. Not a real donation.
yeah.
0.025 LTC.
So I hope that it works. If you ever wanted to give me crypto, like now you can do it. And actually, I prefer it over more traditional methods of donation like PayPal. It's like so much more, so much cheaper for me because PayPal literally robs you blind. And with crypto, that doesn't happen. So yeah, that's like one more way to support me if you ever feel like doing that, of course. Does it accept Monero? I actually have no idea if it does. I think it does, but I need to pay like a subscription to to like make it accept it. It is a bit of a shame because I like Monero a lot myself. I've been following Monero since 2017, when I first seriously got into crypto. Like I knew about crypto since since I was in high school, like 2012, maybe 2011. Yeah, I knew about it I learned about it around the same time when I started to get into roguelikes. But then, like, it was super cheap, and I also was super broke because I was a 15-year-old teenager with no income, and no way to buy Bitcoin anyway. But I do remember seeing it being $5 and thinking to myself, if I had $5, I would buy a Bitcoin for the novelty. But I never got $5 or a way to buy it, and now that one Bitcoin could buy me a house. Literally buy me a house. Think about it. Literally buy me a house. $5. Monero is illegal in Australia, Yak Attack? That is crazy. Also, that's kinda dangerous. I wouldn't trust a government that outlaws things like Monero because I value privacy and stuff like that. But that's a conversation that I don't want to have on my stream. Um, the ATO is gonna come kick your ass one day. Oh man, you have some sitting around that isn't really enough to buy anything with. It's easy enough for you to convert it to Litecoin or whatever else it accepts. I think it accepts Bitcoin, Litecoin, Brave. I think it's Basic Attention Token. And one other that I can't remember. I think it's like Ethereum or something. Anyway, we found a ring of willpower. I'm not gonna use that right now, but it is something that I will keep handy for a bit later in the game when we get into areas where willpower matters. For now, I think I want to stick with my fantastic rings. Shouldn't be an issue unless they send caustic strikes, which is not unlikely considering that, it's Australia. Everyone knows that Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup is an accurate representation of Australia, so, I would not be surprised if they indeed sent caustic strikes against Ash or for Ashley Rain. If that happens, we will remember you forever. Mm, I don't like politics, but Australia's a BS police state. Everything is illegal here. Yeah, I've seen some things about that. It seems to be going kind of the China way, which is a really sad thing, by the way. But that is as much as I'm gonna comment on that, because that's a topic that can get pretty messy pretty fast, and I don't want that. Um, okay, we killed all those guys with Irradiate. Went pretty good. The wolf drowns. You love to see it. Hmm. The yaks. Oh, the yak drowns. Let's go. Oh no, the hydras don't drown, and there's two of them, and they are approaching me from like opposite points. One of them right here, one of them over here. Time to bail and exclude those stairs, never to come back to them. Oh wow, this one has an 8-headed hydra and a torpor snail. That's also messed up. Okay, we're not doing that. Okay, last but not least. Okay, yet another hydra. This one is only a 5-headed hydra. We should be able to kill it. Wow, that was a thing. That was an experience right there. I can't believe that happened. Fortunately, the last set of stairs is manageable. Fulmar petrel is a bird which actually spits acid, not Australian, however. Where is that bird from? I am now like pretty curious about that bird. Okay, we're gonna do this. Eat 2 explosions. That's fine. 30 damage. I can't complain. Could have been worse. Yeah, I don't think these guys or those guys are gonna like survive if I do this. The full line of sight is like full of meth clouds. Okay, also Kubus armor just to give myself a teeny tiny bit of extra armor class. Get out of here. That's fine. Pretty good. With all the noise you make, this level might be rough. I think I already killed like maybe half of the level with how much noise that whole irradiate gimmick made, and also like it attracted so many bands. So all that I have left to do is to stir dance things when they come after me. I think they come one by one. Unless I actually like wait around for a couple of turns to bring more than one of them up with me. Okay, extremely poison. I'm just gonna wait until I have 3 mana, and then ignite poison gets the job done. Pretty good, pretty good. And look at my HP. 154, 14 fighting. I tell you that Ogre gets fighting so fast, like you don't notice it. How long ago was it that I turned it on? Like I actually have no idea. I hope that this is locked. Uh, yeah. I turned it on in the ice cave. In the ice cave. And from the ice cave until layer 5, I already have like 14 fighting. It's 13.9, but next thing I kill, it's gonna be 14 pretty much. That's fast. Looking forward to watching more of this ogre turn into a dragon. Yeah, me too. I am excited for this guy. I think we're gonna get something done with this ogre. Yeah, I hope you have a nice rest of your night, Bycross. See you around. You know the usual. I'll be back tomorrow. Obviously not on Wednesday, but then I will be back on Thursday and Friday to finish the character and potentially another character this week. And yeah, oh yeah, you guys were probably not here when I mentioned, but um, I think I'm gonna do a tiles stream. I have never won a game in tiles. I have never completed a game in tiles actually. Um, Neither win nor die on tiles. So it might happen. Well, it will happen very soon. Mm, it is going to happen on October 8th on a Monday. So if you're interested in that, make sure to mark that date. It's not gonna look much different to you. Yeah, but it's gonna look different to me, which might be interesting. And I will also not end that stream until I win the character. Oh wow, 15 fighting. It took me 2 layer levels to go from 4 fighting to 15 fighting. That is insane. +3 aptitude. You love to see it. You can't wait to hear my commentary. Yeah, I am going to struggle. It's not gonna be fun. Well, it will be fun. It will be fun, but it is going to be vastly different. That's actually what I mean. It's gonna be vastly different from what I normally experience when I play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. More so, have you played older tiles? It will be interesting to hear my comments about the tiles. Had you played older tiles because they've changed like half of the sprites in the last 3 or 4 versions? I never played tiles, not even once. As I have mentioned, I have not ever completed a game in tiles. Not win, not die. Whenever I start local to for one reason or another, I start it, but I just don't finish the character. Like I quit or something. Um, so I have never gone for more than 5 minutes on tiles. The updates are so good, you get so much information from such just a single view or a simple view. That is something that seldom happens in console. I think it's getting better nowadays because monsters, like, for example, elephants get like a little parenthesis thing that says trample. I don't know if tiles gets that. Um, and things like that. But I do think that console and tiles should be equivalent in the amount of information that the players get. Like mm, the exact same. Like they should be the exact same in the kind of information that the players get. It's not okay for console to have advantages compared to tiles, and it's also not okay for tiles to have advantages compared to console. Does console have indicators for buffs? Yes. Whenever a monster is like mighty and berserk, well, when the monster is berserk, is very obvious because the monster turns dark red. The glyph of the monster turns dark red, so it's super obvious when a monster is berserk. Um, but yeah, when they are hexed, or when they have hexes, or when they are hexed themselves, when they have buffs, um, you get to see that kind of thing in console. You get a little indicator next to the monster name. What are we going to train now? Probably shields, because I do have that tower shield. It will add a lot to my defense. So I'm gonna go for the tower shield, even though I might end up throwing it away. I probably shouldn't have done that. Probably shouldn't have walked towards that Hydra. 27, and then nothing happens. Also good. You hope I convert over. I don't think it will happen. Like I guess I will give it a try, but I don't think I will continue playing tiles. Um, how could I put it? I don't know. It's like if you asked a ping pong player to play tennis. It is similar, I guess. Some skills may carry across because at the end of the day they're kind of similar sports, but it's not the same. Um, that's probably how it is to play tiles as a console player. It's like asking Magnus Carlsen to play Go. I don't know if it's that different because those are two completely different games. Oh, it happened again? Oh no, it happened again. I can't believe that I have already done it twice. Oh man, I just am too happy with Irradiate. It's Irradiate's fault for being too good, and I also don't have anything else to kill things. So whenever I get surrounded, and I do get surrounded a lot, it's just natural for me to go for the Irradiate. You think it will be the same? I'll just have to play slower. It will almost guaranteed. It's almost guaranteed to be a slower playthrough. Mm, yeah, everything will appear like a new monster to me. I'm gonna be so much like, what is that? And then just like do this, and I'm gonna be like, oh, it's only a bullfrog. I thought that it would have been like a cane toad or something because it's a frog, dude. But what do I know? Like, I actually don't know the tiles. For all that I know, cane toads are like yellow or something. Like the glyph for cane toads on console is yellow, and the glyph for bullfrogs is green. So maybe the tiles are also yellow and green respectively. That will make it easier. But you know what the real issue is? Monsters that are like very similar but are drastically different, like deep trolls. Deep trolls are an egregious example of what I'm of the reasons why I don't play tiles. Um, like I don't know how it looks, but like deep troll shaman. Okay, there's that guy, right? For me as a console player, it looks like a white tea, bold white tea. That's what it looks like. And compare that to deep troll earth mage, for example. The deep troll earth mage looks to me like purple tea. The contrast is massive. And I've been sneaking looks at the tiles while doing this. Let me tell you, they're not that different. They look pretty much the same. I mean, different clothes, but I'm not gonna pick up on that. So yeah, that is what I am not looking for when doing that tiles run. I hope that I don't end up getting myself killed on one of those guys. Um, Cane toads basically look like a yellow frog in tiles. That's good to hear. Oh, ouch, I'm getting killed by this Hydra. Big damage. Okie dokie. And did I get a bad mutation? Doesn't seem to have happened. I probably shouldn't have irradiate on the quiver. I wish I had like poisonous vapors or scorch or one of those amazing level 2 spells that you have on the quiver and you just mash on to kill the garbage. I don't have anything like that, and I also don't have good melee, which is making me just spam irradiate and give myself yellow contamination. You really thought you would lose that bet? No, I don't underestimate my capability of saying that I'm not going to do something and then proceed to immediately do it. It's something that I've noticed a lot while streaming. Like I give my commentary thing like saying this is like a really bad thing that I shouldn't do, and then I immediately do it. It's happened so often. It doesn't happen every stream, but it does happen very frequently. Much more frequently than I am comfortable with. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for these guys to surround me. I guess they're not gonna surround me because they trample. I've been tanking these elephants like a champion, by the way. With these trash defenses, I would have expected to take much more damage from that. Sorry, much more damage from that, but it just didn't happen. This is one sprite that actually needs updating for visibility. Yeah, whenever there's monsters like that, I wouldn't mind if the sprites were drastically different, because they're like literally the same pose. It could be as easy as mirroring the pose, and then you have a monster that looks very visually different. Maybe I should like submit a pull request from that or for that. Just like download the tile for one of those and then mirror it and submit it. Hmm. That's like very meta strategy for dealing with the tiles challenge that is going to happen in like 3 weeks. I have enough time to do that for real, but I'm probably not gonna do it. It's just a funny thing to think about. Okay, ignite poison. I could use a scroll of immolation here, but I can also kill everything without doing so. So I'm gonna save my resources. No need to be lazy. I also have Irradiate, which pretty much just kills everything very easily. Like 2 casts of Irradiate pretty much got rid of everyone. No need for Immolation. Gonna save it for when I actually need it. Though you kinda know when an Earth Mage is around because they make stupid amounts of noise and destruction with LRD and Dig. The other thing is that Earth Mage are really rare compared to Shaman. Are they? Are they? Now that I think about it, I don't think I've seen a lot of Earth Mages around. Deep Trolls still spawn in bolts, right? If they spawn in bolts, it's like obvious that there's not gonna be a lot of Earth Mages around. They can't dig. They can LRD you and it deals more damage, but they can't dig, so it's understandable if there's not a lot of Deep Troll Earth Mages in bolts. They do spawn in depths, for sure. Dig ruin skill holes. Yeah, it really does, and they are designed with that in mind. Like that's the reason why they exist because they ruin kill holes. So they certainly fulfill their purpose quite well. While you're fighting one of those Earth mages, you straight up don't have the capability of fighting in a corridor. Like you need to get rid of the Earth mage, and then you can reposition into fighting in a corridor. If you don't, the Earth Mage is going to destroy that corridor permanently, which is kind of bad. That's kind of a little thing that adds to the variety. That's like the only monster that does that. I guess there's also cacodemons, but cacodemons tend to spawn on their own. And they also offer more threat from Mulmutate. Yeah, I think the most relevant thing from a Cacodemon is the Mulmutate more than the Dig. Of course, the Dig is also important, but Deep Elf Earth guys? Earth guys? What Earth guys? I remember Elementalists. I don't think I would call them Earth guys, but I think I get what you mean. Uh, don't they destroy the terrain to make Elementals? They kinda destroy the terrain. It's just like they cast a thing, and it's like an aura that will destroy the tiles that are close to you to make earth elementals. Kind of messed up if you think about it. Okay, we got magic dart. Magic dart could be a thing that I cast to kill garbage monsters. Ooh. Okay, I did get this cloak and I completely forgot to put it on. It is pretty good, but the slow kind of kills it. I don't want to be randomly slowed, so I am going to go for the Cloak of Poison Resistance instead. And that's one less resistance being offered by the ring. Um, so I am getting closer and closer to being able to take off that ring with Slay -5 that is covered by the console. But yeah, this ring. My objective is being able to take that ring off and gain 5 slaying out of nowhere. I'm not too pressured to take it off, obviously. It's just on the elementalist. Yeah, there's no small elf for earth magic. The normal elves are like archers, Zephyrmancers, and Pyromancers. And I guess there's knights, but knights are like an in between, between like the common elves and the powerful elves. I guess I would put Knight and Death Mage on the same tier. And then there's the high tier elves, the Elementalists, Annihilators, Sorcerers. And then there's the really high tier elves, the Master Archers and the Blade Masters, the ones that can reasonably solo you. So yeah, that's how I would classify elves. Mm, we got done with Lair, and we got Frog Pond. It was bad, but it wasn't that bad. Yeah, it could have been much worse. It really helps when you have a spell that hits everything surrounding you, because you get surrounded in this level so easily. Master Archers are just mini bosses. Yeah, the other day I was taking a look at this. Uh, yeah, it can hit for up to 25 damage, and it can deal up to 20 extra damage when attacking with ranged weaponry. If you add to that the 15 base damage of the longbow, that is a total of 60 damage maximum per arrow, and it shoots extremely quickly. So, on a bad turn for you, this guy could do 120. 120 in a single turn. It's like these guys are throwing around crystal spears, but they do it every turn. It's like crazy. It's crazy how insane master archers are. And they're not even easy to kill. You may be thinking, oh, it only has 75 HP and no armor class. The thing is that that is still like a couple of turns of melee, especially if you don't have good accuracy. It has 3 pips of evasion. What if it dodges twice and then you take like 100 of damage? These guys are insanely dangerous. Probably the most dangerous self around, the Master Archer. If you have something that ignores evasion, then it is easy. Yeah, I guess Ice Blast. In fact, I guess those guys are like prime Ice Blast targets. It's always worth to save a couple of charges of Ice Blast to deal with Master Archers. Um, Blade Master are kind of pre-Orb of Fire. You would compare them to Orbs of Fire. Mm, I don't know about that because, see, the thing about the Orb of Fire is that it's really hard to kill, but if you have good fire resistance, it's not going to kill you without support. It's just a straight up not going to kill you without support. Um, it will cripple you, but it's not going to kill you alone. The Master or the Blade Master will kill you alone, and you cannot really trivialize it. You can only hope to burst it down before it murders you. Blade Masters are just annoyingly evasive. They're super aggressive on you, and you can hit them. Yeah, I wouldn't. I still wouldn't compare them to Master Archers, but I would respect them. Yeah, they are dangerous on their own special way. I guess that's what I have to say. Um, gonna drop the cloak. Gonna wear the shield because I can already do that. Gonna drop the boomerangs and the darts. It's already too late for me to be using darts. And that, and this, and this, and this. Oh, I want to carry the Dark Mole as a trophy. Uh, don't drop. Okay. If you add that inscription to something, it will warn you before you drop it. Just like that. Really drop it? Like, are you sure you want to drop that? And then you remember, oh, I wanted to keep that around, and you don't drop it. I am going to switch from this ring to this one because I'm about to go into Orc. The willpower is very important to not get paralyzed. I'm also gonna switch to mana regen from regen because I have been running out of mana during these fights, and I would prefer that not to happen. Okay, we're gonna do this. Eight-headed Hydra. Okay, now I can actually kill you. As I suspected, after going through a training arc in Lair, we can fight an Hydra, no big deal. You mean you kind of have to plan for them, just like Orbs of Fire combat with Elementalists and others, they can be a problem, especially with Damnation raining down on you. Yeah, kind of dangerous, for sure. Um, there's a lot of monsters that are monsters that you should respect, and that if you don't respect, you're gonna end up dead. And or Blade Masters and Master Archers definitely fit the criteria. I feel like you can kinda get away with not respecting the spellcaster elves if you deal crazy damage. But even if you have crazy damage, you have to respect the non-spellcaster elves. Mm, okay. You're most scared of Annihilator because of one game where you copped two high roll LCSs in 2 turns. Have I ever told you about that time where I took 4 crystal spears that dealt 100 damage each across 4 turns? It was not 4 turns in a row, but it was like crystal spear, things happened, then crystal spear, then I was like, come on, there's no way I don't kill this lich before it kills me. Crystal spear, you die. I was kinda sad about that because it was only the lich and something else, and the lich managed to do that, and it killed me, and I had like literally 400 HP. I think I was like statue 4 Mogger or something, and it killed me, and I was so mad. You were once two shot with LCS by a Lich in Bolt 5 as a gargoyle. Minus 2 HP, you love to see it. Minus 2 HP is never a good thing. Yeah, gargoyle really, really, really shouldn't be recommended to new players because of that. Okay, we got Snork camping the stairs and a sorcerer. What's your chance to paralyze? 7%. Um, mm, I guess I'm gonna try to confuse these guys over there. Also try to confuse Snork. Ignite Poison. We don't get the confusion on Snork. The Orc Sorcerer got confused, so that's good. Okay. We get the kill on Snork very easily. I can let these guys around me. Okay, yeah, or rather, gray contamination. A good signal to stop. No, or no Snorg leather, unfortunately. It would have been an upgrade because it always drops enchanted. I would love it if it was like an unrendered. If whenever a unique drops scales, they were like the fairy scales, you know, the ones that the enchantress drops. I think the uniques that drop skills should have a chance to drop that, and it should be randomized like the fairy dragon skills. I think that would be cool, and it wouldn't be way too powerful because you lose the chance to enchant them. But they could have like crazy good things, like maybe not resistances, so that they are not reflected on the uniques, but like high stat increases and that kind of stuff. That would be cool. For some reason, you have amazing luck against all Lich and Ancient Lich. They always just stand around casting the worst thing out of their spell set. Yeah, I know the Dread Lich or like the Ancient Lich casting Petrify when you have like 4 pips of willpower and you're not gonna get paralyzed by that. Erolcha, okay, Erolcha. 4% banishment might as well be 0% because I have Lugonu. Yeah, Erolcha is a unique that you have to respect, but not as a Lugonu worshipper. As a Lugonu worshipper, you can get away with just like tapping down Erolcha. This time we didn't tap down Erolcha. I think I used Irradiate, but we got the kill regardless. Are you not gonna get confused? Okay. Maybe I should train more poison or more of the skills related to meth because I feel like it's not as high power as it should be. It might also be related to the fact that I only have 24 intelligence, but we came a long way from like the starting 12. I started with no, I had 11 at the very start. Now I have 24. The intelligence items that I have found have been very convenient. Mm, That's your average time with them. When it comes to gargoyles, yeah. Oh no, when it comes to leeches, you feel like you get lucky, and then how did that happen? Yeah, I always, well, not always, but I try to respect leeches because I know they are pretty dangerous. Immolation. Oh, did I not read immolation? Oh, I read fear by accident. Didn't want to do that. Immolation. Okay, explosion time. Ignite poison. Oh man, I don't like that I read that scroll of fear accidentally. That's my bad. I really wanted to read immolation there. Okay, maybe I should read immolation again. There we go. Big explosions. 78 damage? I guess it's understandable. I don't have fire resistance. But that's kind of why I am an ogre, not gonna lie. I am an ogre precisely to be able to get away with taking 78 damage in a single turn without dying. Mm, I don't think I have enough HP to be able to fight the Warlord anymore, which is a shame because the Warlord eating explosions would have been the easiest way to kill it. It just didn't happen. Another good example, Vampire Mages, they can paralyze. Vampire Knights are the ones that paralyze. Vampire Mages, I don't think they hex at all. No, they don't. They don't hex, but knights do. And knights can spawn in swamp. And I have been killed by a knight in swamp before, and it is never fun. Yeah, now I like giga respect them. I don't go as far as to have a force more in my RC file for them, but I respect them quite a lot. Um, they're also pretty tanky, even if you don't have the danger of being paralyzed. Anyway, you've never been parried by one, didn't know they did it, never respected them. 1 day 75% to death over 4 turn paralysis. That sounds to me like you found one of those guys in swamp and then it did its thing. Mm, man, I really need a new spell. I really do. What is going to be my new spell? I am. I should get Sticky Flame. Okay, I got hit by the Warlord. How rude. Let me LR or ignite. No. Okay, that's not good. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Hey, didn't get yellow contamination. We killed the Warlord. Pretty good. Let me drop this. I don't think I'm gonna use the Amulet of Regen anymore. Or at least for now. I might use it later. I currently have Regen from the Troll Letter, but if I ever switch away from it, I would definitely go back into wearing the Amulet of Regen. For now, I like the Mana Regen instead of the normal Regen. 11 shields, getting close to 15. And once I have 15, it's Tower Shield time. And then I am going to be ridiculously tanky for an Ogre. Mm, the tankiest 10 armor class character that you will see. You always respect them because they just spam Vampiric Draining on you, which makes them even more dangerously tanky. Yeah, that's part of what adds to their tankiness, the fact that they can heal themselves. It is uncommon for a monster to heal itself, but early on in the game with this character, we actually saw a vampire, and I was unable to kill it because it was just spamming Vampiric Draining. You know, the thing that vampires are known for doing. Oh, I took off my ring of -5 slaying. Now I can tap down things with this whip. I didn't even think about it, but it is probably a pretty good option that I should keep in mind. Mm, okay, we're just gonna tap down these guys. And we're gonna have access to the shops. And I am mildly excited for the shops. I don't think I have a lot of money. Yeah, I have like 1,000 gold. It is a fair amount of money. But I don't have anything that I really want to buy. One more. There we go. Shop time. Hey, scroll blinking finally. And an identify. Let's buy it as well. And teleport. 2 scrolls of blinking. Gained 1. That is not a good thing to see this late in the game. But I guess it's better than not having it identified. At least I have 2. I know that I will be able to blink twice to safety. Um, okay. Yeah, this guy has an Arbalest. Better get rid of that guy immediately. Oh, don't get over here. I am too contaminated. Okay. Did you guys know that if you amass enough contamination, you can explode in contamination? Way back in the day, when instead of contam you got glow, it was called a glow explosion. But I haven't heard anyone use that term in a while. We found a young poisoner's handbook. What Blair branches did we get? Ah, we got snake. We could have gotten spiders. Yeah, this book has toxic radiance and poisonous vapors, and I have ignite poison already, so that is like the best possible combination. Anyway, I'm gonna get sticky flame because I have access to it. Sticky flame is gonna be a pretty good thing to add to irradiate damage or to complement it. And I am really thinking about buying this junk poisoner's handbook. Mm, let's see. Fireball, Starburst, and Ignition. Pretty good. This is looking like the kind of character that normally I would just go for ignition and refrigeration, which I already have access to. But no, I want to go for the manifold assault dragon form thing. It is probably less powerful and more expensive, but it feels more fun. Like you just explode things. You press the manifold assault button and things just die, and it's amazing. Mm, oh yeah, I'm gonna train my shields to 15, and then we're gonna start training on armed combat. Um, Wait, I got Swamp and Snake. Those are the worst branches to have access to Toxic Radiance, unfortunately. I still think that maybe I should buy that and learn Toxic Radiance. Pretty good spell. I think I'm gonna stop training shields for now. I have the Kite Shield, and I am going to go back to Poison Magic for a bit. Maybe go back to Fire and Air Magic, so I can cast the things. 6, 6, and for Poison Magic, I'm gonna train it to 9 because of Toxic Radiance. It's gonna be really fast because it's not that high of a training. Mm, I don't think I've completed Orc, so I'm gonna go upstairs into these unexplored stairs. We find your Grun. That is kind of dangerous. 15% chance to petrify. Okay. Let's see if we can get a confusion with Meph. 29%. It's probably not gonna happen. Oh, it happened. Okay, can't complain about that. Toxic Radiance, Toxic Radiance, Toxic Radiance. Extremely poison, goodbye. You love to see it. Okay, a bunch of potions that I can buy to identify. Might as well do so. I don't know if I want to buy attraction to identify it. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think I care. I'm not gonna do it. Attraction is not that important to this character. At least not now. Maybe later in bolts it's gonna be good, but yeah, I don't care too much. I still no, I'm going to do it because I don't have anything else that I wanna buy. So might as well use my money to get myself a bit of a benefit right now than to hoard it for no reason. You never know when you just don't find any shops anymore. It happens every now and then. Hey, woo, that's a huge gauntlet. Um, I guess I can corrupt. It has a 61 chance to fail, but I can just spam it until it works. Um, and I am going to get a lot of loot from doing that. Now, if only I knew about magic mapping. I'm gonna have to manually map this place until I typoed. I'm gonna have to manually map this place until I find the gauntlet. And I feel pretty good going into the gauntlet. I don't feel like it's gonna be difficult for this character. Oh man, wow, a band of centaur warriors. I am astonished at the fact that those can even generate in dungeon, especially in early dungeon. Well, it's not the really early dungeon, but you know what I mean. D13 feels a bit too early for a band of centaur warriors, where that is a spawn that generates in bolts. That is probably the bolts entrance. Okay, you have lightning bolt. Let me put on my ring of lightning bolt resistance. I took so much damage from that. Very distant drum, so chances are good that it's not closer to these, or not close to those stairs. Let's just go down different stairs. Very distant still. I'm gonna take a gamble and go down the one set of stairs that I have not checked yet. Okay. We don't know where it is still. But since it was very distant here, and it might be very distant still. Where could it be that is very distant on these stairs and these stairs as well? Maybe on this edge of the level? Very distant still. It's not looking like it. I'm gonna go in the opposite direction. Oh, you know what? I already know about blinking. Oh, I get so lucky, and I immediately find magic mapping. And now, what? Which one of these two is gonna be the portal to the gauntlet? I actually have no idea. Oh no! Oh, that sucks. Okay, I'm gonna try to get up. Plus three ice skills might be doable. Okay, I might be able to get up just in time. Antique weapon shop. I want to check it. No, I don't care enough. I don't care enough. I think the gauntlet is significantly more. Oh wow! The shaft was a blessing in disguise. It was literally fast travel. I think it would have taken me longer to go through that bolt, which probably has had enemies, than than getting up with the shaft. Like, take a look at that. I'm not gonna say no to that. Um, okay, ring of poison resistance. I don't think I care. I'm gonna drop it, and let's go into the gauntlet. Alrighty, let's see what loot we have. Mm, um, scroll, which could be acquirement. Scroll blinking. Probably gonna go for that. Yeah, the scroll blinking is the most valuable thing here. Pretty beautiful gauntlet, I have to say. Yeah, it's like trash. Oh, never mind. There is Randarts and stuff. Randart helmet, but I am an ogre, so I cannot wear that. I guess it makes sense. Mm, okay, hornets. Yeah, I'm not afraid of hornets, and I'm not afraid of hornets because I have toxic radiance, and they kind of explode to toxic radiance. If only I could have gotten spider with this character, but no, it was not to be, not this time around. I have cold resistance for this ice statue. I'm not afraid of it, not one bit. Mm, wait, I think maybe the correct thing to do is to just make a run for it and ignite, or no, not ignite poison, but sticky flame it. Didn't die from the sticky flame, surprising. Maybe it was low power? 50% power is not so low. Should last more than a couple of turns. Mm, okay. So I got my scroll blinking. The rest of these things are like kind of meh, irrelevant. Okay, the green death doesn't scare me one bit, as you can see. In fact, I think I'm probably more afraid of this orange demon. No, not really. They're really easy enemies to kill. Now, I don't think anything else is interesting in the other Bailey or the other gauntlet for me to break it with corrupt. So I don't think I'm going to. Yeah, if I was going to corrupt, I should have corrupted like right around here to break these four bolts and open those four. Um, the cloak is mildly interesting, but only mildly interesting, and I would rather have the ability to corrupt to deal with the Minotaur. The Minotaur fights can always be pretty shaky because of those javelins. The javelins like are so powerful on monsters. Mm, no poison resistance that I can notice. Cure, too slow. We get the slow immediately. Toxic Radiance, extremely poison, irradiates. Well, never mind. That was so easy. Oh man, if all Minotaur fights were as easy as that, sometimes the Minotaur fight is the most complicated fight that you will get in a whole run just because of how unavoidable it is. Fortunately, it was not the case for this character, and this character just like stomped the Minotaur. Like it was not even close. I'm seeing horror. We can tap it down. Oh, it was a shapeshifter. Alrighty. Mm, easy peasy. It took me so long to become so powerful, like almost 3 hours to get to this point in the game. But after this, the next stream, we should have a much easier time with this character. I am about to end, so I will end after we are done with this level. So let me just do the thing right now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. If you enjoyed what you saw, you should consider following. Of course, you don't have to, but I would appreciate it if you do. And then if you're already following, you should consider subscribing or apporting to the stream in a monetary way. Of course, you don't have to, but I appreciate it if you do, and it definitely does help. As I have mentioned before, I have plans to get a better streaming room and set up like a face cam for 2022. So I am going to need some resources for that, like to get a good face cam and to get like a good streaming room. Um, Pretty interesting ring that we got here. I'm gonna drop it. It's not good enough. It's actually kind of bad, except for the 3 pips of cold resistance. That ring that we got. But yeah, thank you for hanging out here. It is nice to have people in the chat. I also just like streaming, even if there's not like no one active in the chat because I know there's still people watching and enjoying what I'm doing. And some people have already mentioned that they tune into my stream when they are trying to fall asleep and stuff like that, and it helps them. I That's something that I never considered, but I mean, if it helps them, that's good for them. I am contributing positively to their life experience, I guess, and that's a pretty good thing. Maybe I should shift it again. Mm, Probably should exclude that. And yeah, I will continue this character tomorrow. Let me quiver irradiate so I don't forget about it. All right. Yeah. Oh, also let me learn Manifold Assault Dragon form immediately because why not? Mm, Let me amnesia something. At this point, what are we going to amnesia? What are we not using anymore? I think I'm using literally all of my spell set except for a port, but a port is there because it's very low opportunity cost. Used to do that with Walrus Mac Fisher crawl videos on YouTube. I see. Lately, I have been noticing myself that I'm like really sleepy and I just like turn the computer off and go to bed instead of trying to fall asleep to YouTube videos because sometimes the opposite happens and you fall asleep to a YouTube video and then autoplay happens and there's like flashing lights and huge sounds and then that wakes you up and you're kind of annoyed. Um, he plays console as well and the videos are around 0.15. Walrus Mac Fisher. I don't remember that name. No, it doesn't sound familiar. Maybe Walrus. Maybe. Mm, I don't know. Maybe I saw some messages because back in 0.15 and stuff, there were bots in IRC that announced every death pretty much. Maybe I saw some deaths from Walrus McFisher. There were bots that also announced wins. Yeah, it's funny to see how that has changed. It went from announcing every death to only announcing interesting deaths to only announcing wins to not announcing anything at all, as it is nowadays. They would announce milestones too, right? Yeah, they would announce milestones. That's what they did back in the day, but not anymore. Kind of sad. Anyway, that is gonna be it for today. I am getting really sleepy. I wanna